you to punch me in my chest, Key, one time. It all come out.
When I'm on the field, no, I got mask skills. You know he about to eat this a fast meal. I gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. Keep on coming back, so yeah, they nasty. Everyone sick, make them pay with some bad bills. White and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We call him blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill. When we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
It's your boy Melly Mac.
Your boy Salty McSaltface.
Salty
40 keys.
McSalt-
No, I'm joking. Just messing around.
I'm so glad we go last to you.
I know.
I really am.
Salt.
Yeah. Lot to get to in terms of, coach firings and news around the league and stuff like that. But let's do what we've been doing the last few weeks, because I think it sparks the fire early, right? And I want to see what you guys think about this. So this episode is titled "A No-Win Situation for McDermott," right? Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because, the Patriots game was what it was, right? I don't think we need to say too much about what happened with that, but I think it's also an interesting thought thinking about what Sean is facing going into this Broncos game, okay? In my mind, I think it's a no-win situation for Sean McDermott whether he wins or loses this game, right? Okay. And the reason I think that is this. I think if he goes into this game and he wins, it instantly becomes, okay, fine. You always win the wild card, right? Now let's see what you do in the next round. And realistically, and my pop said this before he left, the idea is anything less than a Super Bowl, you've done already. So anything less than getting to a Super Bowl, it still counts against you, because you're not doing better than what you've already accomplished. Even if it was just one time, you still got to beat that. That's the idea. But if Sean loses this game, and let's be honest, this is a very realistic chance. To me, it's a 50-50 shot. It's not any better than a coin flip as far as whether or not the Bills can lose this game or win this game. But if the Bills and Sean McDermott lose this game, it's going to be really bad. And I mean, it might even be worse than we would be here on this show in national media, in local media, if Sean McDermott goes 13-4 and loses in the wild card round to a rookie quarterback and Sean Payton.
I will say, Sean McDermott is 9-4 against rookie quarterbacks. 2-0 in the playoffs. Let's keep the streak alive. Keep the streak alive, baby.
I'm with you. I get it. I'm totally with you. However, this Broncos defense is #1 in sacks. Mm-hmm. They are, I think, #5 in pass defense. Mm-hmm. And whoever Pat Surtain is guarding, you just can't throw it there.
Mm-hmm. And that's where what Max has come to fruition. We don't have anybody to put Pat Surtain on. He can just take a day off and find somebody to throw the ball
to. right. And listen, that was one of the things that I thought about when I had that thought of, okay, well, they play man, which is good for Josh, mm-hmm. and their best corner is going to cover who? Okay, fine. Take away Amari Cooper. We barely used him against the Lions. You know what I'm saying?
We'll just go into it. Huh? We barely used him, period.
Right.
He had one game where he had, 7 catches, something like that. But outside of that, you didn't even see a difference.
Right. And funny enough, for Cooper, the dude is just happy winning. You don't even get, right. You know what I mean? Like, he's put up the numbers in his career already. He just wants to win.
He's just like, yo, I'm happy to be here.
Exactly.
Clean face.
So I'll push the conversation to you guys, and you let me know what you think. Is this a no-win situation, or is there something that Sean can gain by beating this team?
So I would say it's not a no-win situation, but yeah, if you go 13-4, you lose in the first round. What is that? That's terrible. That's terrible. It's any of these playoff teams. If the Ravens lose in the first week, if the Chiefs lose their first game. Like, if any of these teams that's supposed to be the top tier echelon of the NFL lose in the first wild card game, yeah, that's a fail. Yeah, that looked terrible. All that talk about MVP and all this, done. And you lose at your house at home, terrible.
And the worst part about it is they already been voted on, so it'll be revealed later on after they lost in the first week. And then if it's Josh Allen, he loses.
So I agree. Like, if they lose, absolutely it's terrible. But I don't have the Broncos even being close to beating the Bills at home.
Not even close?
Not even close, bro.
Really?
You know what? Go ahead.
Here's why.
Go ahead.
Here's why.
Please.
Their defense is really good. Their pass, like you said, they're number one in sacks. But we know Josh, it's hard to sack Josh.
Yeah,
he don't take sacks.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm not worried about is where's the weak point on our team? It's the defense. We're going against Bo Nix. Not to say that he's bad, but he never been to the playoffs before. He don't know what to expect. Secondly, his top target is who? Cortland Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
They have no run game. Like, what on offense are we worried about that they going to get on the Bills' defense? Even though that's our weakest point, there's nothing they can capitalize on the Bills' defense.
Well,
now, the only thing that I can see the weakness for their strength of the Broncos is their defense, right? But, again, I take your defense all day long against our offense because we going to score on you. You can't stop us. Point blank period. You're not going to be able to stop us.
Yeah, I lean towards that. I'm not as confident.
Right. I'm nervous, bro.
I'm not 50-50, but I'm not, ain't no way. I mean, coming into this show, I said.
You more like 60-40, 70-30?
Yeah, 70-30.
70-30 is good.
I mean, I feel like what Max said. Max been the sage this year, so he made me feel better when he spoke first. But
wait, where would your percentage have been if you went?
No, that would have been it. But
okay,
I felt like I was being outlandish. So
okay, no, it's not.
Because you said 50-50.
I'm always going to be the worst. Yeah.
No, it's okay. But, I like he said, when it comes to our offense versus their defense, I'll take it. I'll take our chances with that because Pat Surtain on that defense is a man-child. But what's a man-child when you have no work? No disrespect to anybody on our offense, but there's no work for him to do. He's just a regular guy because he doesn't do anything.
Right.
Keon Coleman may show up. He might pop. Amari Cooper might pop. Curtis Samuel might pop. Khalil Shakir is going to play. Who knows? But he's only one guy. He can't cover all three or four. Mm-hmm. Now it's up to Joe Brady to scheme somebody open that's not on Pat Surtain, and also for Josh Allen to recognize where the weaknesses are in the defense. Jonathan Cooper is a man-child. Luckily, they don't have what was the middle linebacker Singleton, whatever. He got hurt.
I think it is Singleton.
Yeah, he's done. So luckily for that, but they still have a hell of a pass rush. They can defend the pass well. I do give their offense more credit in the run game because we're so porous. Who's Williams and Estime. Estime looks for contact. I liked him. He's almost a fullback. And I see an instance where we're light in the butt when it comes to D-line. If we get into that second and short, third and short situation, I'm like, oh, man, they're going to give Estime the rock. I don't really care with that they don't have a running back over 700 yards. Because we've been beaten by teams that we weren't supposed to be beaten by in certain aspects.
Right, teams that were said to not have great run games look pretty good against us.
Look sustainable.
Yeah.
And if that's their game plan, it's their game plan. And that does worry me.
Yeah.
But like I said a couple weeks ago, our offense versus anybody's defense, I'm taking our offense.
Yeah.
All right, let me ding you on this one.
Okay.
What team did we lose to that didn't have a run game?
That didn't have a run game? Well, it's not that we lost. I'm saying that teams that didn't have run games were running against us when they weren't. That's not that we lost.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a loss because, again, they can run all day. It's playoffs.
They could run all day. Well, they could run all day, but that run could get something nasty. We have some turnovers, or we have an injury, or something like that. So,
hey, listen, they can get 300 yards rushing. If they take an L, they take an L.
If you run for 300 yards and take an L,
I get it. This is what I think. I want to get to some of these comments too, but I understand the point of what did all the running amount to. I get that. I just think before we even get to the game, the idea that a team is going to be given a run game essentially by our defense. Even if they have a bad run game, we're going to give them a viable run game. What that does for our defense is it causes us to have to play honest on every play. We can't go into a game saying, oh, well, they can't run the ball. We're going to make sure they never even try to run the ball and make that offense one-dimensional. Because that's how you make a game easy for your defense. You make a team one-dimensional where they can't do one thing and they have to rely on another thing heavily. Now you can, you know what I mean? It's simplified from there. So I think as far as the habit that the Bills have of spotting teams a run game, essentially, like we'll give you 10 points. We'll give you a 10-point lead and we'll try and catch up. We know we can beat you,
right.
But I don't even want to give them that. Like that's my mindset on it.
I got one.
Go ahead.
The Ravens game.
What?
The Ravens game.
They don't have a run game?
The Ravens game. No, I'm saying they put 271 up on us and lost. That's what I'm saying. Like, did they do that against anybody else? The 271 or
Hold on, Ravens.
They put 271 rushing against us. Did they do that against?
Yeah, but he's saying they won that game.
They won.
Well, no, they won. We lost. What are you
Right.
saying? What are you saying?
Well, he's saying teams that had a bad run game never beat us.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. Yeah. That's not gonna happen. And that's not happening.
That's not gonna happen.
And,
Stand on it, bro. Stand on it.
and so, but you're absolutely right. I do agree with him. Bad teams, we do give them the opportunity to have a run game, but what cancels that run game out is a high-powered
Score,
offense.
yeah, the score. You got to score.
So
on
as soon as we get up to 2-3 scores, guess what? Guess what happens to the run game?
Well, yeah, that's
what
the goal.
happened to the Lions,
That's
pretty
always the
much.
goal. But the thing
Yeah.
is, if you sleepwalk through the first or second quarter,
Yeah.
you had a deficit.
Yeah,
And that's the problem.
Which you can't.
That's the problem.
This
That's
is
what
the
I'm getting
playoffs,
at.
baby.
That's what I'm getting
Ain't
at.
no
Yep.
sleeping. You can't
Yep.
sleep.
Yep.
You can't take
So-
no quarters off.
So that brings about the question that I think will not quelch, but will solve the debate, right? And the question is Sean going to game plan in such a way to where his offense has a mentality to go out there and score 21 points quick, fast, and make the other team one-dimensional so that it is easy on his defense? Have we seen him do that in the playoffs?
So, looking at Sean this year, it seems like, and I don't know for sure, but it just seems like games that we need to win, the important games, he's better at managing those games, those important games.
Early on, right.
Exactly. So, to me, even though we haven't played this team before, it's so much on the line. Nah, bro, you gotta attack this game like you playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's a must-win situation. There is no L's. I don't care what happens. You can't lose this game.
Right. All right. So our camera just went out. Let me see if I can get it back. Nope, that's not it.
It just dropped.
Yeah. And we're back. So just like a news feed, and we're back. What was the last thing you said?
So I said
L's,
this is
no
we can't
J's
afford
off.
to lose this game at all because it's the
Yeah.
playoffs. So Sean has to approach this team like we're playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Right,
Must-win
so-
situation.
So the good part is even though we haven't seen them, they haven't seen us either. You know what I'm saying? They played a team like Josh, and when they played Lamar and they got blown out 41-10. So there is precedent already on tape for how to beat that team with a mobile quarterback, and I'm pretty sure the Bills are looking at those games right now. You know what I'm saying? But to the point about the Sean McDermott, coaching a certain way at the beginning of games and stuff like that. Do we? Because I think that really comes down to whether or not he respects the quarterback and the team he's playing against too. Because he did it against the Chiefs and he did it against the Lions. Both of those teams' records dictated you needed to respect them. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do that against Stroud in that offense. He didn't do that against I don't know. Give me another quarterback. I mean, technically, he didn't do that against the Rams. He didn't start off that way. You know what I'm saying? And the Rams' record was such that it didn't really, dictate that level of respect. I think Houston's probably more so at that point in the season when they were really humming. It did dictate that kind of respect, and he didn't give it. So, do we think? Like, how confident are we that Sean respects this team enough to go in with that mentality, or does he, is he going to take the same approach of, well, it's a rookie quarterback, I can beat him with my defense, we don't need to do too much on offense?
I think you got to have a different plan just because, like I said, it's the playoffs. So whether you respect the team or not, it's the playoffs.
See, at this point in time, you're supposed to play your game.
Right.
You got to play your game, whatever that may be, because it's gotten you this far. We did take 3 L's. Well, I'm going to say 3 because yesterday doesn't count. Whatever. But we took three hard L's, and that was because he deferred from what he wanted to do or what he's used to doing or what the team, Josh Allen going rogue in the Houston game. Yeah, he did. That was his game where he was like, you know what, I'm going to go back to who I used to be. Yeah. Had you stayed within the game plan, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't happen like that.
Right.
But they learned from that, and after that game, they lost one more game. Yes, right. I'm not counting yesterday. Josh did start, but that's crap. So I think they have the game plan. I think what you have to do more so is figure out, one, what you're going to get out of Milano. Yeah. That's the one thing you got to figure, because this team they are a mobile team. You think about it, like you said, they don't have wide receivers. They don't have really a tight end to really speak of. They have 2 running backs and a quarterback that likes to scramble. So, could you do Dorian Williams-Spine? Do you trust Matt Milano to hold up against Audric Estime at 240 pounds? I don't know.
Right.
That's the big deal, because behind that D-line, you don't really have a lot of weight to take those guys down without them taking you for a ride first. On top of that, you're looking at your secondary. Is Taylor Rapp going to screw the pooch again like he did yesterday? That was his responsibility, and he's done it over and over and over again. We called it out. Right. So, I mean, there's things you got to clean up. So I don't think it's a preparation thing per se. I think it's just mental lapses on the field when the bullets start flying.
Okay. Let's get to some questions really quick. I wanted to start with a comment from Sweat. He says, I agree with Mac. He ain't been wrong yet. So other people are noticing the oracle in you.
Yes.
He's right. Second one. This is the actual question. The comic vet. Welcome to the show, my man. He says, if we lose and fire McDermott, does the rest of the coaching stay completely? Does the rest of the coaching stay completely get fired too?
Or completely get fired too.
Or completely get fired too. You want to take it?
I was going to say it's completely dependent on an incumbent coach.
Yep.
And that's what you're running the risk of. If you like Joe Brady, if you like Bobby Babbitt, you might be best served to keep Sean McDermott. Because somebody come in here and say, you know what? We had Jim Schwartz and Rex Ryan came in here. Mm-hmm. Don't want them. Best defense in the land.
Best defense.
And he said, "No, I can do better." No, you can't. You can't do better than best.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good point.
And that's what you run the risk of when you want to run a guy out of town, because he comes with a lot of stuff too. He comes with a culture, even though we hate it. We hate talking about it. He comes with things, and that's why I'm so hard on firing him versus keeping him, because I see both sides. Mm-hmm. But I in my mind, I'm like, if you just did this, right, we'd be set.
Right. Exactly.
Just do this and not that anymore. And I think I heard on the radio, Tyler Dunn had an interview with him. I'm surprised to let him talk to him. I thought about it. But, McDermott, he basically said he wakes up too serious in the morning.
Who does?
McDermott.
Really?
Yeah, he said I thought about it. I said, you know what? Damn it, that's my problem too. When it comes to business,
that I believe.
When it comes to this, I wake up too serious, and that's my resolution. It really was before I heard that. My 2025, the only one I said, I'm going to take stuff less seriously and laugh more and take a moment to,
Good for you, bro.
I heard
Good for you.
I heard a guy, Tony Baker. I don't know if you guys knew who that is, but he said,
That's my man.
Oh, that's my guy.
That's my dude.
He said, you know what? I challenge you guys. No, I don't know when he said this, but he said, I challenge you guys. Whenever you have a good feeling, whenever you're happy about something, just say, you know what? I'm having a good ass time right now. Just for no reason. Just say I'm having a good ass time. So I'm gonna start doing that. When I say in the middle of a show or whatever, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, man, I'll take it.
Yo, I'm still mad at Schwartz to this day, bro. I'm still mad.
Mad at him?
Mad at him?
No, that they let him
go.
Man, bro, he was the man on defense, bro. Matter of fact, remember the game where they carried him off the field?
Yeah,
bro, he was a dude.
Yeah.
I'm still mad at Rex for that.
McDermott would have taken him out on sight. Y'all carrying him? I can't let that happen.
Ready to make a phone call. Take the shot right now. Take the shot. Take the shot.
Too much to assume.
Yeah, exactly. Darth Gator, welcome to the show. I feel like I've seen you in here before, but if not, welcome, my man. He says, I think grading coaches based on Super Bowl appearances is nuts. Most coaches have not been to a Super Bowl. All you can do is win as much as you can and hope the stars align. I don't know if I agree with that. And here's why. I know what you're gonna say. I get it.
I think I'm gonna say what he gonna say.
Well, yeah, he gonna say only one team wins the Super Bowl every year. Everybody else is a loser.
I'm not gonna say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing though. I grew up in an era of football where head coaches were only given 3 years. That's all you had. If you could not get deep into the playoffs by year 3 of your team build, you were considered an acceptable loss at that point, and they got rid of you and brought somebody else in. And the reason that they did that is because of coaches like, Bill Belichick when he first came in, like coaches like Tony Dungy when he came on. And granted, Tony Dungy came from losing with the Bucks, and Bill Belichick came from losing with the Browns. I get it, but these two coaches in that era, and I can like Sean McVay with the Rams, Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers this year in the playoffs. They had a top 5, top 10 pick in the draft last year. So there are history is plentiful with examples of coaches that come in and get it. They just get it. They understand exactly what their game plan is. They understand exactly how they want to use the team that they have and what they need to add to it to get out of it what the expected outcome is, which is for year 1 a playoff appearance. Usually it's playoff appearance or high rate of success year 1. For a coach like Sean McVay, he actually went to an NFC championship in year 2. He went 13-3 with his team. So it's not outlandish to expect a head coach to come in and show you he's great at the job immediately. I think what we've gotten comfortable with here is the idea that it takes time for guys to learn the job, especially with first-time head coaches. And if that's where you are and that's where you want to be, okay, cool. I can't force you from that position. I just don't share the same perspective. In my mind, I've seen too many examples of guys that come in and have great success, and I want that in whatever shape, form it comes in. You know what I'm saying? To me, it shouldn't take this long with this quarterback. And when you factor into that the defensive players that we've had here and lost, and the favorable schedules in terms of the division that we played in, and really up until last year, the AFC as a whole was a bad conference in terms of how many teams had good quarterbacks or how many teams were actually playoff caliber teams. Listen, we for the last 5 years, we've gone into the playoffs with the only real playoff caliber teams being the Ravens, who were kind of laughable in a sense because they had no pass game, and then the Bills and the Chiefs. That was it. And then you had a bunch of other, the other 3 teams were whoever won the AFC South, and I think the Titans were that at one point, but we never respected Tannehill in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say, I get that what I said sounds hyperbolic. But when you take into consideration all of these facts, it's not so outlandish to expect a team to come in and have success and reach that point. I mean, listen, the Bengals did it in year 3. They did it in year 3 of Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? And that was very recently. Zach Taylor's a first-time head coach. And granted, their defense is terrible, but they did it. And they got past the team that we can't get past to do it. So, I don't want to sound like I just don't think Sean can ever do it. You know what? Let me say this real quick. And I said this on the pregame show with Tommy yesterday. Yesterday. The Buffalo Bills over the last 5 years have played, and I could be off by a game or two, but they've played 104 games in 5 years. Do we understand how many games that is? It's 21 games a season, right? A player plays how many games in college?
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Well, outside of a bowl.
Okay.
If you go to bowl, yeah.
So 10 to 12
13
games.
max.
They automatically come into the NFL, for the Bills anyway, playing almost double that. Well, if it's 10 games, they play at least double that because it's been 21. And you look at the wear and tear that's had on Matt Milano, the wear and tear that it's had on Trey White, the wear and tear that it's had on some of these other great defensive players that we've had that have dealt with some very serious injuries. It's no wonder why it's been so difficult to keep guys healthy. They're playing more games than most teams play in a 5-year span than other teams play in a decade, than other teams play in a 15 to 20-year span, right? The idea of making the playoffs every season and not winning a Super Bowl only adds up to the outcome of you did nothing that year and your players played extra games that create extra wear and tear on the body. So now you go into the next season to what? To do it again, to try again. And that's extra wear and tear if you don't have a plan and you don't have the players and the talent and all that stuff to execute once you get in the playoffs. You're essentially saying, because we're just taking a shot here, whatever wear and tear that goes on the players' bodies, that's acceptable loss. So essentially, by that logic, we're saying Matt Milano's injuries is acceptable loss. The money that he got paid is acceptable loss.
So to that point, who made that comment?
Darth Stegator. I love the name.
So to him, I kind of agree with him on this premise. Most coaches, when they come in and they have success, is because they already have their star quarterback established. You look at Mike Tomlin, which he was gifted a full roster. He didn't have to do anything.
True.
He was gifted a full roster. He won. Sean McVay, he already had his star quarterback. Joe Burrow, star quarterback, star wide receiver. Like a lot of these guys, they already had the missing piece that they needed.
Well, Joe was drafted there the year that Zach got there. So he technically wasn't already there, and he wasn't already established. He was a good quarterback.
Well, he was the first.
Yeah, he's first overall pick. I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes. So I'm not saying that Sean McDermott shouldn't, because with Josh Allen, he should. It shouldn't take 7 years for him. He should. But I'm just saying, most coaches, when they come in, if they have that piece, then yes, the success usually follows. However, how many seasons did Peyton Manning play? About 18.
Yeah, 17.
How many Super Bowls do the man got?
Two.
So 16 of those, he didn't win the Super Bowl, right? He was one of the best quarterbacks that ever played the game. So I'm not saying that it's impossible, but like I said, those coaches that find early success is because they have their quarterback already in place and already ready to go.
Honest question. Do you think if Tony Dungy might have deflated some balls or stolen some players' tapes, he might have won some more Super Bowls? You know, like I don't know. I guess the point behind my question, and I'm being facetious in asking the question in general, but I just when I think of Tony Dungy, I immediately think he's a close relation to what Sean McDermott is. He's a good dude who wants good dudes in the locker room. And the Colts had a great culture when Peyton Manning was playing and they were winning games and stuff like that. They had an amazing culture, right? You never heard anything bad about those players. You never you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a good locker room, good, like the team, it felt good watching them play. They felt like the good guys. I think that's why people wanted Peyton Manning to win so much, even though when he came into the draft, he said, if you don't draft me, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't actually a good guy coming in. You know what I'm saying? But I think for what we saw the Patriots do, from a standpoint of, we're doing whatever it takes to win. If it's ugly, if it's low, if it's dirty, if it's greasy, if it's whatever, ring, 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 ring. Say what you want after that. You know what I'm saying? And so when I think about that dynasty, when I think about some of the other favorable things that the Chiefs have done as far as their offensive linemen lining up off the line of scrimmage and not getting called for it on a consistent basis, just little subtle stuff like that helps teams like that are in the midst of dynasties win games. And then I look at my good old boy coach and him having all the love in the locker room and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it feels good. It feels great. But what does it mean? What does it actually amount to?
I tell you this though, that's why one of the reasons why the Patriots are so hated is because they cheated to get the way they're there. So to me personally, if I have to do that to get a win, it's not worth it. Look at all the teams in baseball who got championships taken away because of steroids, because of drugs, because of every player enhanced things. Like, if I got to win, if I have to be dirty to win, do I really deserve to win?
But you know what they say in the NFL, right? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Who said that?
That's the mantra.
Right, that's the NFL mantra.
Again, who said it first?
My pop said he played in the NFL. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I've heard multiple NFL players say that.
It comes from the Belichick and the Patriots. That's where it came from. Before that happened, you didn't hear that.
Well, okay, we can't say we didn't hear that. It might not be publicized.
It wasn't said like that.
That's what I'm saying. Right. It wasn't publicized. So I just feel like that. So, for example, like if I have to get to a high status and I got to step over people or I got to take people out to get there, why do it? It's not worth it.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm with you in terms of you always want to take the honorable route. Listen, nobody understands and respects that more than me. I don't want to be hated. But for a show like we have,
I'm trying to learn to be like that. I don't care.
Right. I just want the ring. I just want to win.
But no, to get back to the point that the question that was asked, my take on it is I don't care about. I don't care about either side. What I judge a coach on is not rings. It's not anything but trajectory. If you start off bad and you improve every year, I'm good with you. You're a great coach. I don't care if you ever get a ring, but you're going to get to the Super Bowl and make the shot, get a shot at it. Where I fall short with McDermott is the fact that he ascended and then he kind of petered off right here. Now we need to get the extra boost to get to the next level again, because if you're going to keep petering out right there, that's not where we're trying to get to. And after a while, even the most staunch Bills fan is not going to be happy with the playoffs anymore. Yep. And I think that when I thought about while you guys were talking, I was thinking about the locker room scene, Kyle Williams' locker room scene, the Bengals deal. Some McDermott's probably in the corner like, oh, it wasn't supposed to happen this fast. I wasn't trying to get to the playoffs yet. This was not part of the process.
Right.
My process was not.
Yeah.
And I get it.
This is the second time that's happened to them, because the first time was 2021.
Yeah.
2020. They didn't expect to be that good that fast. No. I'm certain they had a 5-year plan. I'm certain of it.
They did. And that's the thing. Like, people like me, you see it and you're like, oh man, okay, now we're moving. But then you look at the team, you're like, this isn't equaling out. The team's success is not the team's talent.
Right.
But now you're talking about a team that's a perennial Super Bowl favorite, which has never made the Super Bowl, which still boggles my mind. We never got there, but we're still the favorites every year to get there.
Right.
And you see holes on the team. I'm gonna say this. When you start a season off and you say, okay, my starters are gonna be AJ Epinesa or Casey Toohill or DeMar Hamlin, or you're like, that's not a Super Bowl roster. Quentin Jefferson. Right. They're like, that's not a Super Bowl. How are they Super Bowl favorites again?
Right.
But I see a lot of people in the chat, they're talking about, hire your boy Lou Anarumo and this, that, and third. I'm like, but do you not like Babbage?
Right.
I mean, are we ready to give up on Babbage that fast? Right. Or are we trying to say Lou Anarumo as an aide, an assistant, an advisor? Because you can't give up on somebody that quick when the pieces aren't there. When I watched the game yesterday and I said, we don't have a lot on that line. Our line is trash. But then I watched some of the playback of it and I said, oh man, Javon Solomon, that's the rusher I'm talking about right there. That's it. At the very least, that's Jerry Hughes in his prime. That's it. Mm-hmm. Now give me somebody on the other side. Give me 2 D tackles. I mean, Ed Oliver, fine, but give me somebody next one that's nastier. But what that begets? That begets being aggressive in the draft. That begets being aggressive in free agency. Not on retreads, on guys that you have foresight on. Guys that you scouted and say, you know what? I didn't get my shot on them, but they're available now. I heard today that we're just about able to sign 2022 draft picks to extensions. So that means James Cook. That means Benford.
Go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
say it. That's not going to happen. No. So, I mean, Kyrie, but the thing is, like, now you're like, okay, who was in that draft that I really liked? Who was it that I missed out on by just that much? I miscalculated. Now you go get that player because they're only 23, 24, 25 years old at best.
Right.
Just the time to do it.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, this is when you show me how aggressive you want to be, how much you change the organization. You show me that you want to win by not signing Von Millers and Quentin Jeffersons and all these people that have done stuff at certain times in their career, but they're not doing it now. They're past their prime. Give me somebody that's going into their prime. If you bust, you bust. Lewis Seen, he might be good. Shut your mouth. Anyway, no, that's not an AO moment. Anyway.
Yo, you're supposed to keep talking. Why you just let him take over the show like that?
Why you say that like that? No. Oh. I veto it. Wait, it don't work. Ha!
Wait. I'm about to plug it in.
Nope. The moment is past. Statute. The statute is over with.
Statute of limitations.
But move past the point.
But no, when you think of
hey, yo, bro.
When you think about way slow, way late, you ain't even get it. I looked at you. You didn't even catch it, but it's all right. Whatever. Huh? Yeah, I know. Anyway, no, I mean the thing is, when you talk about a team building, you're talking about you have your offensive coordinator possibly, you have your defensive coordinator possibly, you know, you have your head coach who can facilitate things, who has a culture builder, who has a GM that will pretty much do what you want him to do. It's time for you to say what you want to do and get it done. You know, I mean, because at this point in time, the ball's in your court. It really is. You know, it's been there for a while, but now more than ever, because Josh Allen's about to be 28, 29 years old. You know, and you have Keon Coleman now. You still need to find a compliment because somebody asked earlier, I hope you're still listening, but they asked, are we interested in signing Myles Garrett? And
I want to get to that one.
And letting Cooper and Cook go. Yeah. I'm fine with Cooper going. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. You know, is there a way we can get Cook and Garrett there?
Listen, I'm fine with Cook going too.
I know you are, but what I'm saying is,
James Cook?
You don't have to say it like that, though.
They want James Cook gone?
No, he does.
No. To be clear,
he does.
They said that's just me. Cooper I'm saying I would be fine if the Bills don't re-sign Cook. I would not be mad. That's all I'm saying. I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
OJ record.
Huh?
He just tied OJ record.
Okay, listen. I think the Ray Davis could do the same thing next year. Like, what are we talking about?
Ray Davis can give 16 touchdowns.
Yeah, why not?
I don't think Ray Davis that young.
Again, OJ did it in the 70s. It's now in 50 years.
Well, listen, that just tells you how bad the drought was. All these offensive lines that we had, all these great running backs, Fred Jackson, Marshawn Lynch, CJ Smith, all these dudes. They ain't been able to do it.
You said Mafia Sports Reporter's Tommy?
Yeah.
He can go. Ban him immediately.
What did he say?
Ban him immediately.
No, I need to see what he said now. Hold on.
He said me and Aaron disagree on Cook. He's just salty. He's just salty because he was a Singletary fan.
Why is he salty?
Because he's a Singletary fan. He's trash.
No.
You say he's a Singletary fan?
Yeah.
Name me one special thing about James Cook right now. One special
thing. How much
thing.
time we got left?
Yards per carry.
Right, yards per carry.
That's special?
Yes.
That's not relative to the offensive line play in the passing game they have?
No.
It's not at all.
You want to know why?
Why?
Name another running back who has his success.
What? Okay.
Ray Davis don't.
It's only relegated to the Bills.
No. You said on behind that offensive line. So if anybody could do it, then all the running backs on that offensive line will have the same yardage.
I got it. He want Frank Gore to start.
No.
He want Frank Gore to be that dude.
When I say name me one special thing about James Cook, what is special about him? Not his yards, not the stats he's putting up, because the stats are relative to the team he has around him.
But he's putting up the stats because of the type of player that he is and the type of talent that he has.
Why didn't he do it last year?
But he still had a high yards per carry last year.
He did.
Okay.
His whole career, he's that dude when it comes to running the ball.
But he's been the only running back on the team until this year.
Not last year.
Who did he have last year?
It was a committee approach last year. They were trying to
say
him out last year.
Remember we had
Murray. We had
Latavius Murray. We had
what was his yards per carry last year?
Who's that? Cook?
Yeah.
4.7. Hold on a second.
Okay. 4 point anything is about average, by the way. I think
not 4 point anything.
No.
4.
No.
Yeah, 4.
So
2, huh?
So one of my points I was going to make is you look at the Pro. What running backs made the Pro Bowl from the AFC
this year?
Yep.
Derrick Henry.
Yep.
I'm not going to say Mixon. I refuse.
You want to know why? Because he don't deserve to be in there.
I know.
He don't deserve to be in there.
I went on that rant on Friday.
He barely has 4 yards of carry.
Yeah.
So I was going to say the better running backs have at least 4.5 and higher.
4.5, yeah, 4.5, 4.7. Let's see, James Cook last year to be correct. Yep, 4.7. Wow.
In his rookie year, I want to say he would have led, but he didn't have enough carries.
Yep, that's what it was.
So that's what I'm saying. So since he's stepped on the scene since his rookie year, he's shown that he can run the ball.
And he's gotten better. I mean, you figure contact balance. You figure,
Yeah.
I mean, that second gear is something that we haven't seen in a long time in Buffalo. You figure the wiggle that everybody talked about with Singletary. Yes, Tommy Singletary. Anyway,
Okay, what's his average yards before contact?
1.6. He's got the lowest on the team. So he gets hit before anybody else on the team. Ray Davis gets hit after everybody else. So I think it's Ray Davis. It's James Cook, Ty Johnson, and Ray Davis.
You pulled it up?
I remember I saw it. I looked it up a while ago.
Okay. So relative to some of the other players in the league, where does he stand in terms of yards before contact?
Hold on, I have to pull it up now.
I'm gonna challenge you on this one, since we getting so heavy in James Cook. What'd you say?
That's right, John.
Why are you saying it's so soft? Say it with your chest.
I said he's Timothy.
No.
There you go.
No.
Timothy.
No.
My man. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Listen,
That's what
I'm
that's what I'm talking about.
Can we be real? Like, I get yards per carry, but the dude can't break a tackle to save his life.
What?
And he's what?
What?
What do you mean?
He
What do you
didn't
mean
get
what?
better this year at breaking tackles?
He's not better at breaking tackles this year.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's all I need to hear.
Are you going to pull that up?
No, because he's already got his mind made
waiting
up.
for you to pull it up.
I don't need to. You said stats don't matter, right?
No, I didn't say. I'm talking about the yards per carry.
No, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about stats don't matter, right? The eye test proves that he breaks tackles. They say it all over the place.
Okay, fine. But the eye test also proves that Ray Davis is just as good a running back as James Cook is.
Not even close.
What? Really?
Not even close.
I don't know what you're watching.
I don't know what eye
don't know
test
what
you
you're
watching.
seeing. Huh?
I don't know. You want one of my contacts?
Bro, I don't need glasses. That's the point.
right.
That's kind of the
You are
point.
40 now.
That's kind of the
You are
point.
40.
Listen, my eye's been healthy since
Might need
day
to
one.
squint.
Since day one. I'm just saying. I get that people like James Cook, but people like every starting running back we have. People liked Motor when he was here.
He didn't. He did.
Okay, we not talking about just you, right? Because you ain't the only person that like James Cook. There's other people that like him. I don't, right?
I know you don't. That's
okay,
why I'm not
so-
going on with the conversation.
But my point is this. My point is when you didn't like Singletary, I didn't like him either.
I know.
We had similar tastes,
We
right?
agreed for once.
Did you like Motor when he was here? Okay, so my point is this: everybody's got their different tastes. I just don't see it with James Cook. From what I see, I get his yards per carry. I think a lot of that is relative to his speed and the offensive line that they have. He plays in a good offense. Most running backs that have good skills or are talented to some degree that play in a good offense usually do well. I don't know of any running back that comes in on a good team and is just terrible. That gets as many carries as James Cook gets. So it's not like I'm saying James Cook sucks. I just don't know that if Ray Davis got the same level of carries and the same opportunities that James Cook has had, he wouldn't do the same thing. We've seen Ray Davis do some things this season that James Cook didn't do. So I don't want to pretend like James Cook is what did you say, Himothy? Like, I get it. I need to see more to cause me, like, okay, let's put it like this. When I've seen running backs play like Marshawn Lynch and Fred Jackson and have the speed of a CJ Spiller or play like Thurman Thomas, like, I've seen some great running backs in my day.
All right, but those dudes you just named don't have James Cook speed.
CJ Spiller was faster.
No, you said Marshawn Lynch, Fred Jackson. You made guys who can take hits, the big running backs.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna go with an example of what I think is a great running back, I think it's Marshawn Lynch. And I don't he didn't play the way in the NFL. He didn't play the way he did in the NFL in college. He was a shifty guy in college. He was spinning and all kind of stuff like that. So he changed his play style in the NFL to accommodate the offense he was on. It wasn't a great offensive line, so he had to be able to break tackles. He understood that, right? Look at what Shady said when Sean came in here 2017, 2018. Shady, he wasn't playing the same. Sean called him out on it, and first thing out of Shady's mouth is, "Look at the offensive line you got me playing behind. You think I'm gonna put up the same numbers that I was putting up in 2017 behind this offensive line?"
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what causes me to say what I say when I get to a running back's numbers are often relative to the team around him. And I get that James Cook is talented. I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying that he can't go to another team and have success. I'm simply saying for the money that he's going to command with the numbers that he has, I do not think you have to pay that when you got a guy in Ray Davis that looks like he can give you similar numbers. It don't have to be better. It could just be similar. And I still got Ray Davis on a rookie contract. That's money that I can spend on defense where I really need it. James Cook, he's going to get his money. I just don't want to be the one to give it to him. That's all I'm saying. If I'm gonna be hated for that, I'm gonna be hated for it.
I hate you a little bit.
That's okay. That's okay. I started this show to get hated. Did you know that?
What if your co-host going to hate you? I'm supposed to get buried with you. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
no, I mean,
yeah.
honestly, it's not about James Cook per se. If you're talking about if it's a money thing, what is the money you're talking about? You're talking about 8-9 million. You're talking about something a lot more luxurious. I mean, what is your thought process for a James Cook? I mean, I don't know what his value is going to be. So, I can tell you, just like quarterback, running back's been elusive for a very long time. Mm-hmm. We've been looking for a running back for a very long time, and we have not found one. So when you finally find one,
wait, what's a long time? Because we had Shady in here in 2017.
Shady was all right. I mean,
and then we had Singletary for 3 years.
Singletary don't count. He wasn't no good.
No. I'm simply saying the last good running back we had was Shady in 2017. Well, 2018 too, but he played behind a bad offense. So since 2018.
So you're talking about you went and traded for a running back, an over the hill guy that the coach obviously didn't like. You're not going to get another guy like that. So you have a guy the coach drafted. He obviously likes him. So what is the money component? Or else we got to draft another one like him, because we don't have that on this team right now. That dynamic is not on the squad.
Okay. Let me see. I'm just looking at. Oh, they don't have any comparisons up for him yet. I'm trying to see what Cook's market value is going to be. So his contract is up next year.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll be a unrestricted free agent in 2026. So, he was a second round pick, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's why he doesn't have a 5th-year option. Yeah. So his contract will be up next year. So they still got him this year. They'll if they're smart, they'll wait it out and see how he performs next year. And I'd be fine with that. Again, I think, for the money, you don't need to go heavy James Cook.
Well, if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna pay out of the butt, if you're talking about double-digit millions, okay, fine. But just to say, nah, I'm not doing it. He's got to go. Go back to the comment. If I had to choose, I would probably take, honestly, with the draft is coming up, with the way that the free agency looks, I guess I don't really trust him with free agency, but I would probably take Cook and Cooper over Myles Garrett.
Really?
I probably would, just because of the consistency with Josh, and the fact that Myles Garrett is 30 years old coming up, and how many more years on his contract? 2, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think 2. I'm pretty sure it's 2.
I mean, that's cool and all. If you get your defensive end at 30 years old, but we did that before, and as long as he doesn't get hurt, yeah, he's a monster. But we did it with Vaughn, So we have Javon Solomon. We can find a way, if we figure out how to invest in the back 7, we'll be fine. But if you're talking about a team that like they said, Lamar Jackson only Lamar because he has Derrick Henry. Then somebody stopped right away and said, you forgot about Buffalo Bills got James Cook. That right there alone tells me there's some value in the national market. So you might be right. He might make a lot of money. which is fine. If we don't have it, we ain't got it. And I'll be the first to tell you, we don't have the money to do that.
So if you're looking at just 1,000-yard rushers, he has the lowest amount of carries with 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The lowest one.
Mm-hmm. He's got the most 40-yard touchdowns too.
I'm going to do a study now, and I'm going to look up running backs that play with good quarterbacks and see what their numbers look like. Because I think I just when you have a great quarterback that demands the defense to pay attention to the pass and play coverage, it opens up things. I'll put it like this: if James Cook was putting up Saquon Barkley numbers, and Saquon Barkley's been playing against 8-man boxes his whole career, if he was putting up those kind of numbers, or even the same, let's just say he's putting up the same playing against 8-man boxes. Okay, you get a little bit more respect because there's a lot more skill involved as opposed to just the talent that we're seeing from James Cook. Because now you got to have great vision. You got to have all the things that we saw from Shady, all the things that we saw from Fred Jackson or LaShawn McCoy, or you know what I'm saying? Like that means more to me.
But so you got to look at the carries that Barkley got. He's leading the NFL in carries. He had almost 350 carries. So you have to give Cook at least double what you gave him.
But why did they give Barkley so many carries? Because Jalen Hurts is not as good a quarterback as Josh Allen is. That's my point. My point is when you have a guy in Jalen Hurts that let's be honest, he needs that kind of help. They needed a running back like that to take the heat off of Jalen Hurts so that Hurts didn't have to do everything. Not saying that Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback, but he's not on Josh Allen's level. So you give that running back that many carries to not put so much weight on your quarterback so that your team can be more balanced. Because before Barkley got there, they were about to get rid of Hurts. They were about to get rid of Nick Sirianni. Like they were really talking about tearing that whole thing down. So I don't want any of what I'm saying to come across as disrespect to James Cook, and if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But again, and you know what? Let me just get to this question because I've been meaning to ask this.
Now you know what this is. I'll take it back. This is our conversation about quarterbacks. This is our conversation about me and you, especially about what our preferential quarterback is. You like a different kind of running back than I like. I like a different kind of quarterback than you. Like I put a different value in quarterbacks than you put in certain different, aspects. And that's what it is. I mean, we're really comparing apples.
What kind of running back do you like?
James Cook. Like I like it. You like the power guy. You like a Marshawn Lynch kind of guy.
Well, it's not necessarily that, because to me, Joe Mixon is not a power back. I like Joe Mixon. I like Todd Gurley was not a power back. I liked him.
Gurley was considered.
Both of them boys.
Yeah, Gurley.
Both boys like contact.
Well, just because they big don't mean that they run like power backs. Like Marshawn Lynch was an actual power back. Power backs to me are guys that look for contact.
Like Audrey Estime.
Yes, like that's a power back. But like Travis Henry, power back. He looks for contact.
He was weird, man. He was
right.
Mutant.
But Joe Mixon don't play like that. Bijan Robinson don't even play like that. He plays like more of a speed back. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. David Montgomery would be a power back because
these are guys you like.
Huh?
These are the guys. Where are you going to use?
No, I'm saying like I like Bijan Robinson. I like Joe Mixon. Right. They're not power guys. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I think what I'm looking at is the total package type of guys. Like Breece Hall. Breece Hall is a total package kind of guy. Joe Mixon, total package kind of guy. They can do it all. You know what I'm saying? They can shake and bake, or they can run you over.
You like Breece Hall?
Huh?
You like Breece Hall?
I do like Breece Hall. I do. I think he's a good running back. I mean, he's been hurt. He's had a couple knee injuries, a couple big time knee injuries, but I like him.
I like Kenneth Walker.
I like Kenneth Walker too. Right? Kenneth Walker's a beast. I like him. You know what I'm saying? Like watching Zach Charbonnet, he's not bad, right? He's a little bit slower than Kenneth Walker, but
I was going to address the Mafia Sports Report. He said, "Ask me, please."
Yeah. Did you see the question? He said, "Would Singletary's numbers be better with this O line?" No. I think is what he's trying to say.
No. Better than what? Better than Cook's numbers or better than Singletary's numbers? Okay.
No. Let's just say would his numbers be better than they were when he played here before? I think the point he's trying to make is because the offensive line is better, our running backs are getting better numbers.
Well, the thing is, James Cook played behind the same line.
No, he did not.
He did.
No, we can't say that.
He didn't?
It's not the same offensive line. We got three different starters.
Huh? They weren't on the same team together?
Who was it?
Cook and Singletary were on the same team together. They played together.
No, I get it, but it's a different
Cook's
offensive
numbers
line.
were better.
It's a different offensive line.
How?
No, well, he's saying when they play on the same offensive line.
How?
Cook's
They played
numbers
the
were
same
still
year.
better than his. The same year they had the same offensive line
When he was a rookie, his numbers were better than Singletary's.
on the same line.
With the same line.
Okay, but they were running a lot of the same things that they did this year with Ray Davis and James Cook, where they're running two different concepts. Is essentially with Ray Davis, they ran more power style runs, more pro style runs. With James Cook, it's been more zone read runs.
It was a little more even. A little more even.
Well, right,
It was a little more even. But no, the fact of the matter is, no, I don't think if you look at what makes Singletary good, is something that I'm not Singletary makes Cook good. It's something that Singletary didn't possess,
which is
that quick burst of speed. When he hits that line, he hits the gap, and he goes. Singletary doesn't have that speed to him.
right.
And you figure, I did this math when Singletary's on the team. When Singletary ran the ball more than 9 times, his average yards per carry dropped off dramatically. He was running about 3.8 yards a carry. You can look it up.
But that's relative to the concepts that he was being given behind this. If we're gonna judge by James Cook's rookie season, then we also have to take into consideration the caveat, which is they were asked to do two different styles of runs.
This had nothing to do with James Cook. This is all about Singletary right now.
No, I get it, but you're saying that Singletary wouldn't have had better numbers behind this year's offensive line, right? Like and you guys brought it back to when they were on the same team together. Okay, so let's leave it there. If both running backs were asked to do different styles, different run concepts, that means they were asked to do two different jobs essentially.
But can we say definitively they were asked to do two different things?
We saw it. It's on film. I remember watching it. I remember talking to you about it.
I mean, I remember sometimes they had different setups for different people, but
Right.
at the same time, you're talking about just Devin Singletary. The more he runs, the less he is effective. It's just that's what it is. The more he runs, the less he's effective. James Cook gets going, and he keeps going.
Are you only basing that on the year he played with Cook, or are you basing that on his whole career?
That's his whole career.
Okay,
in
well
Buffalo.
then we can't judge that, because the idea of the question is the strength of the offensive line that he's playing behind.
Mm-hmm.
If the strength of the offensive line that he's playing behind is better, his numbers by definition should be better.
No, that's
okay.
good.
And right, I get it. You're
Right.
saying you're saying you disagree with that point. What I'm saying to you is, if you're including Singletary's entire career into your train of thought as to why you disagree with this point, you can't do that.
Why?
because you brought the comparison to the year that they both played together as far as how we're going to judge the outcome for both running backs.
Okay, but we're past outcome. You asked me why do I think Singletary couldn't flourish in his offense, and I said it's very, very case in point, just strictly based on Singletary.
But that was before we got to the point of so this is how it went. So I took it to, okay, behind this offensive line, his numbers wouldn't be better, and you said no, and then Matt came in. Y'all both said when they were on the same team together, James Cook had better numbers.
And then and then you asked the question. You said, what is it that I think? How'd you ask it? You asked, what is it that I think that why do I think Singletary wouldn't be as good behind this line? And it's strictly independent on Singletary. He doesn't have the burst. We're not talking about Cook anymore. He doesn't have the burst to make the offensive line look good again and run. We know the offensive line isn't a good run blocking team. They're really not.
Okay, let me ask you a serious question. 2 years ago, how good would you say the Bills' offensive line was?
Who was that? 2 years ago was
let's pull it up. I'll pull the
okay,
roster
so
up.
you had obviously Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins, Mitch Morse. Who were the guards?
All right, so we're looking at. All right, so the offensive line was Deion Dawkins, Roger Saffold, Mitch Morse, Ryan Bates, and Spencer Brown.
Right. Okay.
Would you say that was a good offensive line to you?
Who was the OC? Was that Dorsey?
Yes, 2 years ago was Dorsey.
No, I wouldn't be offensive line for what they did.
Why does Dorsey make a difference in that?
Because if it was Dayball, then it was a pass heavy defense or offense. So that would have been a better offensive line for a pass blocking than run blocking. Because Dayball didn't care anything about running the ball. He wanted to pass.
Well, I don't really care about whether or not it was built for pass blocking.
Well,
or not.
if I answer your question, I got to answer it with all the facts. So if you say Was it a good offensive line? If they're asked, like you always say, what are they asked to do?
Well, I get how you're factoring the information, but as a whole, so if the question is in totality, one singular factor can't be the reason you change the outcome of the whole, I guess is what I'm saying. Like I get what you're saying. You're trying to tell me that you're trying to factor everything into the decision, but I don't want the decision to be judged based off of whether or not they were a passing offensive line. In your mind, were they a good offensive line overall? Regardless of what they were built to do, because we looked at the rankings before.
Yeah, they were okay to work. That was better than us right now if you look at the rankings. But
okay,
I mean, this is why I asked that question. Like I said, were they a good offensive line? Are you asking were they a good running offensive line?
No, I just want as a whole.
Okay, so let me ask you this: under Dayball's offense, was that offensive line a good offensive line?
Under Dayball I don't think the offensive line was ever good under Sean McDermott.
Okay, so the reason why I asked that is because under Dayball, Josh Allen had some of his best success because the offensive line was asked to protect him at all costs. They didn't care about the run game. So if you're saying, is that a good offensive line? Did they do their job? Yes, they did. So could they do everything? Absolutely not. But for what they were supposed to do, they did it. And if you're looking at the offensive line now, no, this one's the most complete, if you will. But I mean, really, right now, what it stands on is, do I think Singletary could do what he did in Buffalo and behind this line and do it better than he did before?
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I think he would have been marginally better. Marginally.
Okay. So I will name you 3 players from the Texans offensive line that instantly made them better than anybody we had on our offensive line in 2022. Laramie Tunsil, Shaq Mason at guard, and Juice Scruggs at guard. He also plays center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Their offensive line that year was good. Okay. Now, good offensive line, right? We've established that.
Mm-hmm.
That same year, Singletary ran for 900 yards.
Mm-hmm. How many yards he run for in Buffalo?
I'm talking about behind a good offensive line.
What did he run in Buffalo?
What did he run for Buffalo?
I'm asking. I didn't look it up. I thought you had it up. You don't have it up?
Nope.
I'll look it up.
He had 1,099 all-purpose yards.
Okay.
So let me see.
So he had 898 he had 819 in Buffalo, 870 in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
He had 775 in Buffalo. So he did pretty much the same thing in Buffalo he did.
Well, no. If we're being legalistic about this thing and facts are facts, his numbers were better behind a I don't want to say a way better offensive line, but behind a better offensive line, his numbers were better.
What numbers? Because he had more touchdowns in Buffalo. He had a higher.
We're talking about yards.
Yards per carry was higher in Buffalo.
How many yards did the dude have rushing? How many carries
did he have? Yards per carry matter. If
yards rushing. Why are you trying to put caveats in the game? It's yards rushing. No, at the end of the day, his job is to run the ball.
We're looking at the one metric you're looking at, yards rushing, 898. The year before, 819 behind the Buffalo Bills bad line.
Mm-hmm.
He had a higher success rate.
What year did he go 898?
23. That's when he went to Houston, 898. The year before that in Buffalo, 177 carries, 819, 5 touchdowns, 43 first downs, 52% success rate in Houston, 216 carries, 898 yards, 4 touchdowns, 41 first downs, 47% success rate. His long carry was 9 yards less in Houston. He averaged 0.4 yards less a carry in Houston.
Okay. His 2019 season with the Buffalo Bills. Again, not a great offensive line. Higher yards per carry than James Cook in his rookie season. 5.1. So, I listen. The only reason I'm even arguing this point is just to show that whatever this perception of James Cook that exists out there, it's the comparison between the two running backs is for the most part just pure perception. You know what I'm saying? Because the rookie seasons, Singletary had a better rookie season in terms of yards per carry. If we're going to include that as a caveat, he didn't have the same amount of yards. He only had 775 yards. But if we're talking about my point, which is running backs typically have better numbers behind better offensive lines, okay, fine. It may not be a huge difference, but he's 2 yards. I'm sorry, no. He's 70 yards better. Yeah, about almost 80 yards better behind the Texans' offensive line for his rushing total for the season than he was here in Buffalo, where he had a higher yards per carry. Right? And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, 2023 was that CJ Stroud's first year? Was that his rookie year?
Mm-hmm.
So you're playing with a rookie quarterback. So teams are crowding the box at that point. They didn't respect CJ Stroud like that. I remember watching some of the games. They didn't respect him until later on in the season, after he proved he can get the ball out. So Singletary's probably running against heavier boxes. Put up 900 yards, and what his lowest yards per carry total for his career is 3.9 with the Giants, but nobody's going to blame him for that with what he had around him. But this dude is consistently 5.1 his rookie season, then 4.4, then 4.6, then 4.6, then 4.2.
So you're talking about 2023, right?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how this turned into a James Cook.
Yeah, I think we spent too much time. Spent too much time.
Yeah,
on this, man.
Yeah. This is getting old. Yeah, I agree, Lynn. Let's talk defensive line because this is getting ugly.
What was we had a lot of chats and somebody said that Tommy's gonna kick your butt if we don't get to these questions. I think it's Roy. I don't know. It's crazy, but it's so many comments now. Before we could read every one easily, now it's like if you blink, they're all gone. It's how many chats do we get a day now? A show.
A lot.
I know.
It's a lot.
Like, it's never stopped moving. I mean, keep it coming.
Yeah. No. Okay. So let's do this. Let's move on. Yeah. Sounds like move on. Right.
No, Sal. Just for that, Devin Singletary. And I like the way he ties his shoes. And you know what? I'm having a good time. No. D-line wise, where are we going to start with this? What are we talking about? Are we talking about yesterday's game overall depth? Hold
on. Time out. Lou, to be clear, welcome to the show, by the way. I've never seen you in here, but to be clear, I never said Ray Davis was better than Cook. All I said was I'm pretty sure we could get similar. That's the word I said. I'm pretty sure we could get similar numbers from Ray Davis in this offense. I'm not saying they got to be the same. I'm not saying they got to be better. Listen, I don't. For where James Cook is in his career, I'm happy he's having success. He's a part of my team. As long as he's here, I'm a root for him. But in terms of what I want in a running back, or in terms of what I've seen have long-term success, Aaron Jones eventually fizzled out in Green Bay. Both of those dudes are similar style running backs, and Aaron Jones is a bigger running back, and he's had some pretty serious injuries. So I think that's part of the reason why James Cook doesn't have as many carries as an Aaron Jones does. They probably learned that from provisionist history. But to me, I don't want to invest the money it's going to take to keep James Cook here when I got a guy like Ray Davis that I can, keep on a rookie contract and just keep going that route. You know what I'm saying? We like Lynn said, we got offensive line issues we got to deal with. We got to think about solidifying our left guard position so that Deion Dawkins' job is a little bit easier because he's damn near rotated left guards every season he's played, if I'm not mistaken. That this will be the first year that if they don't make a change, this will be the first year he goes in with the same left guard 2 years in a row.
Is David Edwards he was a 1 year contract or two?
That I don't know. He might have been on a 3 year contract, I think.
Okay. I know he came in on one, but I think they did some stuff. course they did. They always do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. Honestly, I don't know that we have an offensive line issue. I think we have more so. We got to backfill it and try to find some a starter. Van Pran Granger, he's still out there. Tylen Grable, if you watched the game yesterday, and I mean, I say that seriously because it's hard to watch. Tylen Grable yesterday was pretty good. I saw a lot that I could hang my hat on and say, you know what?
Oh yeah.
He can do things. Vandermark looked lost at times, like, but no, I saw Van Pran Granger. He excited me. He excited. That was good for the future. I don't know if they're going to try to move him to guard. See, that's the problem we have. Who are we going to put at guard? Alec Anderson. He got my vote. He got my vote. That's the nastiest cat out there. That's like, man, that's a new incognito out there. He was about to fight. Well, I don't know. It was funny because I don't know if you saw it.
Is he as good as Incognito was?
Doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. Oh my God, you can't talk to me about no more players if you talk about putting Alec Anderson on a team just because he's willing to punch somebody in the face. You crazy when you say that.
I get a high when I see that. But
oh
anyway,
my God!
Yesterday he was in the middle of a scuffle. They were pushing. He was like this the whole time. He was like, I'm not even doing that this time. But no, I think he actually has some kind of talent. I think guard with his mentality would be a nice little addition. If you nasty, I'm not saying you got to fight all the time, but if you had that mentality that I'm trying to take somebody down, that's a good guard.
No, I want another Cybo in the house. I want another man mover in the building.
I wouldn't mind having that. Honestly, I wouldn't mind. I'm trying to think of one that I could. That there is. Who was it? Was it? I don't remember, but there was a game where they had.
Laura says she liked the scrappy ones.
Oh, you like Alec Anderson too?
What is it about these dudes that just get in fights? Like it leads to nothing but flags. Richie Incognito was good, but too many flags, man. Same thing with Alec Anderson.
But yeah, there's a guy out there. I got to look his name up, but he actually played in the bowl game. He was left tackle, but he played guard his whole career, and they had to move him outside. So he has agility, he has the athleticism to do it. But he's also a big boy. I think he's like 6'5", 320, 330. So give me some of that. Plug him in next to Deion Dawkins. Deion Dawkins actually is growing on me. At this point in his career, he's almost done, but he's now starting to grow on me as a player, and I'm seeing the value in him. I guess I'll say now.
Okay. I was gonna type it. I'll just answer. Nightshade Jones. Nightshade Jones says, listen, Josh had 12 rushing touchdowns. How many did James Cook have? He has 16 this year, right? 16. Yeah, 16 total.
Wait, Josh had 12. What, this year?
Huh?
Josh, this year you're talking about?
Josh had 12 this year.
Okay, yeah.
Trigg said it sets the tone. Yeah, well, yeah, right. But okay, so let me ask you guys this. Because the debate is going to be going into the offseason. Do you sign Myles Garrett or do you try to draft somebody? Right? But regardless of who it is, if it's Bean picking the players, if it's Sean picking the players, based on what I know, it's Sean picking the players and Bean goes out and gets the guy. If we get to the offseason without a Super Bowl, you know what? It doesn't even matter. We get to the offseason. Let's say we do win a Super Bowl, because I think this makes this conversation even more interesting. Let's say we do win a Super Bowl, right? We're going to be positive because everybody thinks I'm negative Nancy right now.
You just got to say I'm having a good ass time right now. That's all you got to say. It's all white clean.
What? How?
You said you're negative Nancy? Just say I'm having a good ass time. It wipes it clean.
Does it really?
Oh.
I listen, I'm fine if people don't like me. That's okay.
Damn, that's not good for show purposes. No, I'm joking. I'm just joking. That's like watching them go. No.
Okay. So if we get to the offseason and the debate becomes Myles Garrett or rookie, what do we need to add to that debate to come up with a singular answer? Like, what information do people need to keep in mind when having the debate with anybody? Because we can talk about our opinions and people can agree or disagree, whatever. That's fine. We can have it. But I think at the end of the day, we've had this discussion a few times in terms of what we think should happen. What do people need to consider, though, with this conversation?
Okay, so if it's Myles Garrett or the rookie has to be defensive, and I'm guessing. It can't be because what I'm saying.
Well,
is,
yeah. It would be a first round defensive.
It would be a first round defensive end. Okay, so if you're drafting where we're drafting, I actually saw a mock draft earlier today. Obviously, it's too early to really take seriously, but we traded out of the first again, and we took Nick Scorton from Texas A&M, which drove me nuts for the first part of the day. Then I watched the tape back from yesterday, and I said, "Oh snap! Solomon is that pass rusher I'm talking about." Scorton is a pass rusher on the other end. He is not as good a run defender as Greg Rousseau, but he's a better pass rusher than Greg Rousseau. So if we're talking about getting rid of Rousseau and not getting Myles Garrett, I'm assuming that's where we are with it. We're not going to have Rousseau and this rookie, right? Okay. So yeah, I would be okay with a Scorton with a second round salary. Because like I said, we know what Myles Garrett is. We know what Greg Rousseau is, but we don't know what we don't know. These other guys are unknowns. They could be better. And it goes like you say about McDermott when we were, I think it was Friday or maybe even Monday, where you said, it's not, I'm trying to say the guy sucks, but I'm trying to say, what if we found somebody there? What if? And my thing is we're cycling these names around again and again and again, but what if we could find our own making of something in this draft?
Wait, was that you?
What I do?
Lou said, yeah, he blocked me for disagreeing, but I respect. I blocked somebody by accident last episode when I was.
Was it Lou?
I think it might have been. Listen,
No.
Lou, I apologize if that was you. I didn't even. I was trying to click off. Was it Broken Tables or something like that? Because he was just straight up trolling. Listen. I don't care if people are disagreeing with me. I like having the conversation. Part of the reason I get a little hyperbolic on this show is because it's interesting. It's like, let's look at all the angles. Let's have the conversations. Let's feel it all out. And at the end of it, what's left is often the truth. You know what I'm saying? You got to pull the layers apart. You got to analyze all the different compartments and departments and all that kind of stuff. That's how you get to it. That's
one thing about it. When we talk, especially me, especially you, it ain't like that. It might seem like, but it ain't like that. Right. We're brothers. We ain't blood, but hey, I may take you out the back and warm my ribs up. We come back here, we good. We're holding the side, we good. So I tell you right now, there's things about me you're not going to agree with because I'm a basketball guy. I like stats, I like the Bills, and I like basketball. But the rest of the stuff escapes me sometimes. So right. I could be off my rocker with it, but I know in this instance, what we talked about, I'm not going to rehash it. There's one guy really liked it, one I did not. Right.
Yeah. No. Triggs and who else said this? David Reed is basically leaning in the same direction. We need a nose tackle more than anything.
That's
else.
Why I asked that question. I'm like, I don't want to skew it, but I want to know: can I get my D tackle here?
Right. Yeah, I think the name of the game has to be you at some point have to look at the investment you already made on defensive line. It's Ed Oliver. That's the guy you're already paying. What is it, $80-something million he got? Mm-hmm. If you don't go get a nose tackle, you're basically forcing that dude to play out of position. Essentially, like I get what he did in college. I get he could play nose tackle in college. This ain't college, so to leave him on an island out there by himself inside, basically, and have a guy like Greg Rousseau who, let's be honest, he's not getting double covered. He's not. Like, they're not putting a tight end to chip him or any of that kind of stuff. That tells you how much a team actually fears a pass rusher. When they start putting guys out to chip and they start leaving running backs to that side and that kind of deal, like, this dude could wreck our game plan.
You know who they did that to yesterday?
Who?
Solomon.
Right.
Solomon all day long after the first quarter, double teams. I'm like, okay, yeah.
He looked like he put on a little bit of weight too in the NFL, which is good for him. So
on to something.
Listen. I was thinking this the other episode and I didn't say it. I might have even been thinking this on the pregame show. If Solomon could develop that Dwight Freeney spin, bro,
yeah,
he would be unstoppable.
Yeah,
with that speed and that bend and just a little whop, just straight, just spin right off the dude. Oh man, it's over. It's over. You ain't stopping him. Aaron Butler says incoming Baltimore Ravens third Super Bowl. God, this guy again.
He said,
What's going
he
on,
said
man?
third Super Bowl.
He said, incoming Baltimore Ravens, third Super Bowl. Yeah, third in their history. Incoming Lamar Jackson, third MVP. Thanks for your contributions.
Hey, listen, he can have MVP, but he ain't getting no Super Bowl. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah,
That ain't happening, bro.
I doubt it.
How many playoff wins do Lamar Jackson got? Then talk to me about Super Bowl.
There you go.
You got to get the wins first before you can get a Super Bowl.
There you go. Mac has spoken. The
I-
Oracle has
You know
spoken.
what? I hate when Mac does that because he's usually right. So it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like you said it. You said it. I'm a football guy. Like I live this. I breathe this. I know my football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know good players when I see good players, and I know players who have not. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he hasn't proven that he can win in the playoffs. He hasn't proven it.
True.
So until he proves it, he ain't winning no Super Bowl.
Yep. Mr. Knickerbocker, I meant to get your comment earlier. I'll read it now. He says, if Jack Sawyer is available, take him. Get Miles as well. And then he also went on to say, Ohio State, Jack Sawyer, watch him, high motor.
I did watch him. I just
You didn't see it?
I
I'll
didn't
take
see what I
it.
wanted. I didn't see what I wanted.
Which is but you like the bendy dudes, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah. See, Jack Sawyer is high motor. He reminds me. I can't say. I don't know who. He reminds me of he's a try-hard, and he'll get to the ball if the time allows.
Well, as soon as they say high motor, you know what they mean. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to get away from that because yes, but when I look at Jack Sawyer, and I watched the Ohio State game. Actually, I watched the Michigan State game, Michigan game, obviously for obvious reasons. But I just didn't see him pop off the screen. Like, I mean, he's playing next to Tyleik Williams too, the D tackle. He's coming out in the draft too, and Tyleik is if we can get him here, 6'5", 290, but he's not a one tech, but he's nasty. I can take it.
See, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. Mr. Knickerbocker said that's fair. So Lou, he says I'll take Max Crosby too. I just don't want to get rid of Groot. That's going to be tough. Like you're talking about a player that his market value is at $24.9 million right now.
Right, he's definitely going to get 15. Definitely
at least.
Yeah.
At least, and the Bills will probably have to pay more like 18, 19 to keep him. You know what I'm saying? And that's if he takes a hometown discount. You still got teams out there like the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Giants. Mm-hmm. You don't think the Giants would pay him to come over there and be a good pass rusher or be good against the run? Mm-hmm. Like that's a defensive line that already has Dexter. What's his name?
Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence, right? So you add on to that defensive line a Groot. That you're not like the defensive line alone would be great at stopping the run if you added him there. So there are other teams that are looking at Groot and saying he could be a valuable piece of something we're trying to build here. So
remember they also have who's that pass rusher they have? The other guy. God, I'm looking up real quick.
Who, the Giants?
Yeah.
They
got Brian Burns.
Yeah, they got Brian. That's right.
They got who it's not who I'm thinking about though.
You talking about the linebacker? Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they got the.
But he's an outside linebacker.
That's what I'm saying. They got the pass rush. All you need is somebody that can run stuff.
Right. Exactly. So that's just an example of factors that are going to cause the Bills to have to overspend for Groot. Honestly, because if there's any type of competition for him, the Bills aren't going to be able to afford it.
Yeah, they don't.
So.
That's like when you play Madden and you do the bid, you hit the X.
Yeah.
And you're like. 3, 2. No! I thought I had. Okay.
Yep. And then there's 3 teams that pop up with way better offers. Right. Exactly.
Come on over.
Exactly. Lynn says, I want a new Bruce Smith. I'm with you. I want the same exact thing.
I never want to see Bruce Smith again. Of course I do.
Yeah, exactly. Of course I do. We got a. Oh, David Malley is sick of the MVP conversation.
Me too.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You sick of it?
Yes.
Why?
Because I feel like this. The reason why it's a conversation is because the style of the way they're picking the MVP. Like, I don't like the whole voting thing. One, and I think they do it on purpose, Key. They don't specify what an MVP is for a reason, because if they did, they wouldn't need to vote. We would already know. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a prime example. Let's say the MVP is the best quarterback with the best stats. Game over, it goes to Joe Burrow. Congratulations. He leads the NFL in passing yards and touchdowns. He's the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the guy with the best record, congratulations, it is now Jared Goff. He's the best quarterback with the best record. It goes to Jared Goff. Or is it the best player that is the most valuable on their team? Then it has to go to Josh Allen.
Right.
Right? Like, if you figure out what criteria it is, we can give you an answer. So they won't do that because, well, we got to vote and we got to talk about it and then we got to make this conversation and politics and we got to have people talking about it and we like these hot takes. That's why they do it. Yeah. But if they just buckle down and says, hey, this is what an MVP is, this is the criteria, what are we voting for?
Right. Mm-hmm. There would basically be no vote, or even at that point, you could have fans vote because as long as there's a criteria, you can't judge the outcome of that.
Right. At the end of the day, you specify what it is. Yeah. I got you. If it's the most stats, boom, Burrow. He leads the NFL in passing touchdowns and yards.
Right. Aaron Butler, listen, I advise you to get out now while you still can, man, because now No Bones is coming at you. You about to start getting tomatoes, bro. I'm joking. Seriously, I'm joking. You don't have to leave. My man Steve Lynn says trade Groot now before his value decreases. He's a great side compliment. He's not the main centerpiece that you build around. Yeah, he's not a cornerstone player, but he is a great, second piece to an elite pass rusher.
Yeah, for sure. But I think to that point, it goes back to what we hate about not hate, but what we don't like about Ed Oliver. He has to have somebody with him to make him great. See, Groot would have to have somebody impacting in the middle in order for him to get off.
Exactly.
And, so that's the gotcha. I watched it was the touchdown yesterday that Joe Milton threw. This is a comedy of errors because not even talking about the actual defensive blunder by Taylor Rapp. You got Quentin Jefferson. Yeah, I said that right. Flush Joe Milton out of the pocket. Casey Tuhill takes the wrong angle. And now you got slow-mo Jones over there, whoever the other defensive tackle was running. Oh, it was Dwayne Carter fighting for his life to hit a 5-0 sleeve, fighting for his life. Milton had all day, just launched it across his body. The rest is history. So I think when you look at the comedy of errors and see Groot would never have allowed him to get outside that pocket, and that's the value of Groot. You had to clean up with DeQuan Jones or clean up with Ed Oliver or something like that. But we need somebody, and we're getting to the point, like you said, $24 million. The clock is ticking. We're not paying that.
Exactly.
We can't. It's not possible. So we have to go into the draft and see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may.
Dang, Steve Noble came hard with he said Bo Nix had better numbers than Lamar last year. He did though.
He did.
Yeah.
But back then, Lamar has the best record.
Yeah.
Right.
13 seconds. Don't you start, man. Don't you start with all that I need a massage stuff. Like you about to get a timeout real quick, bro. Real quick. Lou says Dan Orlovsky laid it out perfectly why Josh should get MVP this morning on First Take. I didn't see that. I got to check it out.
I know Steven. I was in the gym. I saw Stephen A. said, I actually agree. It was Shannon Sharp and Orlovsky on the screen. And she was like, actually, I leaned towards Orlovsky. Orlovsky was like, what? What'd you just say? It was funny because you know how Stephen A. is. He's going to be a muckraker as it goes. So, but I think the more people are starting to lean towards Josh, and that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. But I really want the MVP of the Super Bowl. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Okay. So defensive line wise, we've addressed that. Let's go to let's just like flesh out the defense, right? Because I think that's going to be the focus going into next season.
You want to talk about the playoffs or the end of the season?
I mean, what else is there? We playing the Broncos.
I'm saying, like, for the playoffs. So, like, who do y'all think is going to make it to the end, or who is the wild card that you might see in the playoffs that might make a run, that might not make a run? That you might
know. I knew Matt was going to take me out of this conversation. Let me think. Okay, you know what I'm going to think.
I don't know.
Trying to help you out.
I don't know. It just seemed like the fans. It just seemed dry to me, man. We got to, you know what I'm saying? It's the end of the season. Like, probably didn't think the Bills would go 13-4. Like, I had them winning double digits, and I had them winning the AFC East, but I didn't think they was going to go 13-4. Also, I have to apologize because at the beginning of the season, A asked the question, what do you think is going to drive the Bills team? Was it going to be the offense or the defense? Based off of the training camp and the practices, I said 100% it's going to be the defense because they had the energy, they had the power, they had the oomph. The offense just looked dry. They looked like no power, no oomph, no nothing. Now that the season is over, It is clearly the offense. The offense is clearly running this team. They firing on all cylinders. They're looking good. They can score with any team, with the best of them. The defense, they for what we had on defense, I think they did a good job. But again, this lack of elite players on defense is why we're not giving over the hump, or why we're not 100% confident that these boys is going to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Mr. Knickerbocker asks, who's your dark horse?
Good question, Mr. Knickerbocker.
Uh-oh.
Good question.
Wait. This has to be a NFC only question, right? Unless you got a dark horse. Like,
I got two.
If we rooting for the Bills, can we really pick a dark horse?
So to me, the dark horse is things they're going to perform better than what people expect them to.
Okay.
So to me, the dark horse for the NFC,
but that doesn't like the end of that thought isn't winning a Super Bowl, is it? Because my mindset, if somebody says, well, this is the dark horse of the playoffs, I'm thinking this is a team nobody expects to get to the Super Bowl, but they might.
Right. Yeah. These two teams, I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they have a dark horse of getting to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Who you got?
NFC, the Eagles.
Dark horse?
Yes. Right. The reason I call them the dark horse is right now everybody is saying it's either Minnesota or the Vikings. I mean, I'm sorry, Minnesota or the Alliance.
Well, they wrong. It definitely ain't. I agree with you. I wouldn't say Eagles are dark horse, but because I just think they're too good. Even on paper, they're too good. But I agree. I think I have the Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
You guys going to the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. I think what they offer in a matchup against the Lions, they're too good on defense for the Lions to overcome that. I think the Eagles are definitely going to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. What's your AFC?
My AFC dark horse, Chargers.
Yeah.
The Chargers.
Yeah.
Like if Herbert, McConkey, and that defense get together, like I honestly think they can beat Houston. I honestly think they could beat KC. It's if they can beat us or the Ravens, which I don't know. If they give on a good day, they can give us trouble.
Yeah, very much.
But to me, the Chargers and Philly are the dark horses for me. And I even got an honorable mention.
Who?
The Commanders.
I got one.
I
got one.
They can stop.
You got one?
I got one.
Who's your dark horse?
The Vikings.
Bro, they know
Vikings.
they 14-3, bro.
But they're fifth in the division. They lost. They got curb
That's
stomped
true.
by
true.
Detroit. They got curb stomped by Detroit.
Well, yeah.
So
They are fifth.
They got to play against the Eagles.
That's crazy.
They got to play against the
You got
Lions.
that good record.
No, but
fifth,
did you hear?
It's crazy.
I thought about it first. I'm like, yo, NFC is garbage because it took them like week 17 to have the first clinch. I was like, wait a minute, that means everybody's good.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, the Vikings are my dark horse to
Your
go
dark
from
horse?
to yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna catch fire. I think they're gonna catch Detroit
Yeah.
because they lost to Detroit by 2 the first time. They got curb stomped last time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that was my one. I saw watching. I said, you know what, that's cool, but I don't know they're gonna get past the Eagles and Detroit, and that'd be tough.
Yeah. I think the Eagles and here's the funny thing. Can you name all of our Super Bowl opponents that the Bills played?
Yeah, everything in the NFC East. Every team.
Only thing we're missing is the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a very interesting. We'll call that Max conspiracy theories. That's going to be a new segment on the show.
I would love if I had my choice. I want to see Bills and Lions. That's what I want to see.
Bills
I want to
Lions?
see Bills Lions.
The battle of Ralph Wilson.
Huh?
The battle of Ralph Wilson.
But
Yeah.
I think people are counting Philly out. They're counting Philly out, but I think Philly's definitely has a shot.
Listen, people are silly if they counting Philly out. They're the number 2 seed. They're the number 2 seed. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can people be disrespecting?
Only
that
reason is because their division was, you got the Giants, you got the Cowboys. Like, so they're saying
You don't want to say that.
They're saying because their division was whack that they're good, but they don't think they're better than the Vikings and they don't think they're better than the Lions.
I apologize to everybody that's watching this for what I'm about to say. But if that's the case, bro, you know where I'm about to go. If that's the case, the Bills shouldn't have been a Super Bowl favorite every year because our division is worse.
But
I'm
here's the
laughing
thing,
at
though.
what Tommy said.
Here's the thing, though. I just named 2 teams that were good in the NFC.
Yeah.
There's only 3 good teams in the AFC.
Right.
And it's always been.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Honestly, not even The Ravens was always good. So to me, it was always the Bills and Chiefs.
Exactly. I think I was just saying that yesterday on the pregame show. Like that's the issue with that's the issue I take when people try to give, Sean McDermott and the Bills so much credit in terms of winning. Like who have we really played against? Lamar Jackson and the Ravens were the only, they were the third playoff caliber team that was in the AFC, but they didn't have a passing game when they were going. You know what I'm saying? And even like last year was the first year they had any kind of passing game, and they got the number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? So this is really the first season that we're seeing other teams come on with promising quarterbacks that really pose a threat to the Bills in every round. You know what I'm saying? The Broncos definitely pose a threat. It may not be a great threat, but what you all right over there?
Jiggle the cord.
Huh? You lost feed from one of the cameras. That's probably what it is.
Max going.
Jiggle it.
Yeah.
Jiggle.
Play around with it.
Jiggle.
Go ahead. Just leave it. Yeah, leave it there. That's fine. What?
Yeah, right there. Yep. Cool.
Okay.
Good. They can hear me, but they can't see me. Y'all can't see what I'm doing.
Do that dance. Yeah. Do that dance. Do your dance.
Yeah, right. So,
You see what time he said?
No, I'm looking at what Aaron Butler said. He said, Lindsey, those playoff stats are very small sample size. Like, that's all you get in the playoffs. That's all you get.
Which ones? What one? What was?
So Lindsey said, playoffs are a different animal. Aaron, give me Lamar Jackson stats in the playoffs.
He said it's only a what?
Right. He said the stats in the playoffs is only a small sample size, bro. Josh Allen has the best quarterback numbers in the playoffs by far in NFL history almost. If I'm not mistaken, he's pretty close to NFL history in terms of how well he plays in the playoffs.
I think the only ones would be better were probably Rodgers and Breeze.
Let's say at least active
in the playoffs. Yeah.
Because I know Rodgers don't throw picks.
Correct.
And I think Josh got 4
in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's got 3 in one game.
Okay,
he's got 1 another one. So I think he's got 4 total. But he's average maybe less than 1 or 1 a game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Also with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I'll give a dark horse for the NFC. Honestly, I think the Rams are the dark horse in the NFC. I think nobody's talking about that team right now, but that is an offense that when they've gone up against the best teams with all their players healthy, they are a real threat. And Matt Stafford has won a Super Bowl before. He's shown that he can play in high leverage games. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The only other quarterback in the NFC that I really trust is Jerod Goff, because he's gotten to the Super Bowl before. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts, yeah, he's done it, but when he did it, he had an amazing team around him. And then the defense fell apart and he didn't do so great. Now they have a defense and they got a great running back. Now he's back to doing good. So I can't say that their success is on him. You know what I'm saying? So everybody expects the Lions to make the Super Bowl. I think nobody's talking about the Rams at all. That's the team I think is the dark horse. In terms of the AFC, I think I would be. It just feels wrong to name an AFC dark horse because that means that team is going to get past my Bills, and I don't want to say that.
Steve Lynn said the Bills are the AFC dark horse.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, listen, nobody's talking about the Bills that way, but it does feel that way. It feels that way because of how we've seen some of these other teams play in big time games during the season. We've seen how well the Chargers look going up against the Chiefs. We've seen how the Ravens play and blow teams out. We've seen the Broncos take the Chiefs down to the brink of being defeated in a very, very tough game and holding that team to 16 points. You know what I'm saying? We've seen these teams perform very well. Watching the Broncos go against the Bengals offense. Like they literally went toe to toe with these boys. They went blow for blow with these boys. You know what I'm saying? Put up numbers, deep passes, all kind of offense. Any way you want it, they were scoring points. Granted, the Cincinnati Bengals defense is not great, but we've seen the Broncos play both ways. So I'm simply saying there's evidence out there for all these teams in the AFC right now to show that they all have potential to do some damage in the playoffs. And that's I'm not saying it's scary from the standpoint of I'm scared. I'm saying it's scary from the standpoint of we've not seen a playoff landscape like this since the Bills have been making the playoffs. Usually it's just been Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, and that's it. So very different year for the Bills.
One thing I want to say about the Bengals, did y'all hear that the fans are in an uproar? Did y'all hear that? The Bengals fans, they're in an uproar.
Because they didn't make it?
No, well, part of it is
fired
because KC didn't play their starters.
Oh yeah, that's dumb.
So they're saying they gifted
Yeah,
they
the
didn't.
Broncos
because they didn't want to see the
playoffs.
Bengals.
They
Yep.
didn't.
But here's the thing, though, bro. You lost 8 games,
One to the Patriots.
bro. You
We
lost
won.
8
Yeah.
games, bro.
Win that.
8. That's 2 hands. I can't put it on one hand. That's 2 hands.
See,
What makes y'all think that y'all supposed to be in the playoffs?
the thing about that is revisionist history. Is what have we done lately? They caught fire at the end. They were terrible in the beginning, just like the Ravens were. They couldn't get out their own way. They played us. They turned it around. The Bengals took a lot longer. They lost to teams they had no business losing to. It wasn't the fact that you got cheated. You didn't do your work. You got to do your work. If you don't do your work, you're not gonna get the prize.
The Hair's pissed. They're saying that they shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't be able to just play their backups.
What they want to do? They want to have a play-in game to get the play into the play-in game. Come on now. I mean, I heard somebody on the radio say they should offer when they do stuff like that. They should offer the fans like a discount on like the merchandise or something. I'm like, because the thing, like, they were. You guys would know this. Well, you especially, Roy, cover your ears. Fantasy championship. Some people had championships yesterday. Who does that?
We were in the league that played a championship game yesterday.
I saw somebody had to score like 56 to like 11 because everybody was sad.
Yeah. It
So
got
I mean,
ugly.
yeah, so it's like, think about that. Let's let that marinate. You really are going to a game on week 18 thinking Pat Mahomes is going to play? You better get on StubHub and sell your tickets. He's 15-1. He's not playing.
Right.
Josh Allen. Do I care about the streak? Not really. He's going to do it again anyway. He would do it again.
Right.
Everybody said, he played through the season with the hand, and I'm like, that's cool, but unless it was an incentive for it, who cares? Just get warm, get your park on, and just enjoy the game.
Right.
James Cook, when they put him back in, I'm like, I tweeted out. I said, you know what? I'm glad he got a style. It would have been nice to have him tie OJ. And they're like, oh, they're on the goal line. There's James.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. But then Mac Hollins almost got a major bonus, not major bonus, but a bigger bonus.
Didn't he get a little one?
He got a little one. He got
Sam
50,000.
Martin got a bonus
Sam Martin got a bonus. 100,000 for. I'm like,
inside the 20.
yeah, I would have actually put more on that because
Would you?
think about it. How often did you think the Bills were going to punt? Did you think the Bills are going to punt that much?
That's
I'd be
true.
like, no. If I can do it on the limited tries I get,
Right.
I get at least 300,000.
Right. Easy.
At least.
Easy.
I mean, so we had a lot of success. Ryan Miller, people was he? I think somebody said he's been playing possum.
Hold on now. What? I have to speak on this one.
Go ahead.
They said, Vaughn, you need 1 sack for $1.5 million. He said, what? Hey,
I
Key,
know where you're going
Key,
with this.
Key, you ready? First drive, bam, deuces, bro. Really?
Where's that been all season long?
Now, don't get me wrong. If it was me, and they said, hey, if you run, you get a 5-yard carry. You gotta get 5 yards on 2 carries.
Mm-hmm.
For one, how much? I bet you I get it. I bet you I get some yards.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at him, but the fact that he did it on the first drive.
Yeah. I think
Like, where is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, when we need that, I still think Vaughn can play. Obviously, he can't play at the superstar level that he was back in his prime when he was with the Broncos, but Vaughn can still play. He still knows the game mentally. He knows how to get around people. So to me, when the game's on the line, all I'm asking is, Vaughn, do the same thing, baby. Act like it's a $1.5 million. We need that sack.
Exactly.
To be fair though, I think that right tackle was horrible. So that right tackle was horrible.
Patriots.
Yeah, he was.
So
bad.
if he wanted to, Vaughn could have ate on him.
Because when Solomon was on that side, they doubled him up. They had a tight end chip every time. Because they moved Solomon from the right to that side, and Solomon was getting busy, and they put a tight end over there. So there's something wrong with that right tackle. So Vaughn he didn't do anything. He just went up the field and came in.
Yeah.
But you got to remember too, who was the quarterback? It was the first or second snap he's ever taken?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was what's the name? Wasn't it? So
No, was it Mayo?
was it May? Was it still May? Okay, if it was May, then that's different.
You're
But
not allowed to die live on the show, just so you know.
sorry, Mac. This is the second show in a row. I've done them in. I made a
I'll
grave
die on the
mistake.
third show.
There you go. That's better. Consideration.
So listen, Laura, you put it out there. I didn't tell you to do it, and I definitely can't protect you now. But Laura says we're up against stiff competition for show.
For show.
Okay, that didn't get anything. Okay, never mind.
Stiff competition.
He's still thinking about it.
All right, never mind. Let him process it.
You want it? You want it? Stiffy competition.
There it is. I got the head turn. There you go. Great job. Great job.
Got to add the iffy on it.
You gotta do the iffy. Yeah.
All right, you got to put the Y on the end of that. I get it. All right, that's fair.
Who was that? Was that Laura?
Laura said, "Hey, yo,
Laura, we work for you. We work hard for you on that one.
no doubt.
We had to modify it and everything from it's an assist. It was an assist on the oop. That's all it was.
All right, so let me ask you guys this: in terms of matchups, the divisional round, we're looking at Chargers, Steelers, or Ravens. I'm sorry, no. We're looking at Chargers or Ravens, right?
So if
Can you pull up the playoff
right here.
if the Chargers win, they go to KC.
If Pitt wins, if Pitt loses.
If the Chargers win.
No, if the Chargers win and Pitt wins, then Pitt goes to KC.
Correct.
What
Pitt
if Ravens win and Chargers win?
Then the Chargers go to KC.
If Pitt wins, because Pitt's the 6th, so the KC would get the worst team.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Like in every scenario, in every possible scenario, we're either facing the Chargers or the Ravens, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Pittsburgh beating the Ravens now.
Really?
No, they lost their last 4 games.
Well, they're talking about mixing in a little bit of Justin Fields. Try and get some pop plays from the quarterback position.
Yeah, because Russ, beginning of the season when he first came in, I'm saying, okay, yeah, Russ is looking. He just blew.
Is
his
he
wide.
washed?
I don't know if he can play like you said. I don't know if all those games you could just come in like, especially at the end of the season, like these are tough opponents. You just can't go in and you got to play. I don't think he has that. He has enough in him to play like Aaron Rodgers, like all season or a certain amount of games. You got to give him maybe 4 or 5 games. I don't think he could play that many and be effective.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
he's a backup now.
Or it's they know how to defend him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Especially with the Steelers,
right?
I know what you're going to do on the Steelers.
Yeah. One of the reasons why, and they talked about this when he left Seattle, when he was traded away. One of the issues they had with him in Seattle was he always wanted to leave the pocket. He wasn't a good pocket quarterback, and
he's short.
Well, yeah, right, and so that's one of the reasons why they had to design an offense that worked well once he broke out of the pocket. If there wasn't a wide open throw for him while he was in the pocket, he would break out and put pressure on the defense and make a play. And the receivers and tight ends were trained on different concepts, and basically they had different play designs for after he broke the pocket because it was such a big part of the way that he played offense. They had to put that in there to accommodate the way that he played. But with his, I don't want to say diminishing, it sounds like I'm saying he's a shell of himself. I don't think he's a shell of himself, but he's not as athletic as he used to be, right. And that hurts a quarterback with that height. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't play. He's going to have to play more from the pocket, and he's just not good at that. He's not good at it. Yeah, Steve. He says Russ hit the wall. Tape is out, looking like washed-ish. Yeah. I think it's a good idea for Tomlin to really consider Justin Fields at this point. You know what I mean? It's the only thing that he can do, considering what happened when the Ravens played the Steelers the last time, the most recent time. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other part of that too. The first time that the Steelers played the Ravens, the Steelers were great on defense. Yep. They were shutting everybody down, yep. Right? I think at that point, Justin Fields was the quarterback, right? If I'm not mistaken, or was that when Russ first got back?
It might have been when Russ first came in.
Okay, so there was no tape of Russ in that offense,
right?
And then on top of that, the Ravens had just fixed their offensive line, so their offense was pretty good, but they had not yet moved the defensive back that they moved to. I think they moved a nickel corner to safety or a safety to nickel corner, one of those two scenarios. But they shifted some things in their secondary that caused that secondary to play much, much better. And
it was Russ. So Russ came in 205 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown, one interception, but they beat him 18-16. They held Lamar to 207 yards, one interception, one touchdown. They even stopped Derrick Henry. He had 65 yards. So they had him. And normally, as I alluded to, in Lamar Jackson's career,
he's
beaten them twice in his career. 7 years. He played him twice a year. He beat him twice in the career. Like, they normally have his number.
Been in the league 7 years, going on 8. Yeah.
You emphasize career. Lets me not need to pay attention to the word career.
That's crazy because, Key, I can see if it was in a division, you see them maybe once, but you see this team twice a year, bro.
Yes.
And you only got 2 W's?
I would have that circled on mine.
Mr. Knickerbocker says Zay is questionable for the wild card game. If he doesn't play, then the Steelers have a chance. If he does, the Ravens should win.
So he day to day.
I mean,
I
listen,
honestly think Bateman is a better receiver than Flowers.
Yeah.
Really
right now, I
think Bateman likely and Andrews is those guys right now.
Yeah, and Bateman has taken a big step recently to get to that point, because he initially, like last year, Bateman was the number 2 and Zay was, he was for sure the number 1, but guys got tape on Zay now. He's got to step his game up.
Cool, he's trash. Get him to Buffalo.
Get him to Buffalo, right?
Washed up. I guess we'll just have to take him.
Let me see here. Lynn says Pittsburgh will have to really be super to beat Baltimore, but they could. I just think the defense has to play well and keep it close.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
It's still a division game.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely. I'm saying? Yeah, and to your point, these teams have never played each other in the playoffs either. You know what I'm saying? The Steelers are a good team like defensively at least, but they are consistent from regular season to playoffs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we've seen now that Lamar Jackson is not consistent regular season to playoffs. And you could even say that for some of the other players on the Ravens offense. The Ravens defense really carried them last postseason. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, all of this is to say, there's still a very real chance that we might not even see the Ravens. There's still a very real chance that the Ravens don't even make it past the wild card round. It exists. The possibility exists.
That number 3 is not as bold as it looks. I mean, they just barely got to be the champions of the division. So, I mean, they were fighting tooth and nail until this past Saturday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they had nothing locked up. They came from the bottom. You figure they were in 3rd place at one point in the season. So, so that team isn't as unvaluable as you think. They're very beatable, and Pittsburgh has to look out on them. If they play their cards right, play their game, they have a chance at this one.
Yeah. 100%. I agree with that. Texans Chargers. Listen, for as good as CJ Stroud has played all season, he's doing a lot with a very limited offensive line. They have almost no run game, and the defense, for as good as it is at putting pressure on quarterbacks, they're not great at stopping the run, and they rely a little too heavily on turnovers for that defense to be effective. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stingley's had a great season. Yep. Don't get me wrong. Stingley and those safeties have had a great season in terms of interceptions and play and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's a game where the Chargers just have too much on defense and offense.
I think Herbert's going to be focused. Harbaugh's going to get him prepared. McConkey's ready. Like I can see the Chargers doing some damage, man.
Yeah.
I can really see him doing some damage.
That's a team that travels well, and I think it starts with Jim Harbaugh's mindset, the way that he's leading that team in a sense. And here's the other part. Your boy Justin Herbert is running.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time we've seen this dude run like this, and the one thing that we've been asking for Justin Herbert to do, he's now starting to do. Yeah. And he didn't start doing it until like week 5, week 6, like later on in the season. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just a part of the offense. If he needs to, he'll take off. And while they don't have great receivers, they have Ladd McConkey, who's their go-to dude. He's basically their Shakir. Yep. And Palmer is playing like their number one right now. You know what I'm saying? Their speed guy and Quentin Johnston.
He went off yesterday, was it? He
Huh?
went off with
Palmer?
10 kids. No, Johnson. He had like 10 catches for like 180 yards.
Yeah, he has a couple of those
he
games
went
this
off.
season.
I was like, he can catch that many balls in one game. That's good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he can do. Listen, I'm not downing the dude. He's talented, but he's not a number one. I think he's more of a Jameson Williams type where he'll have a big pop game like that if you use him the right way on crossers and slants and routes where he can get the ball and take off on guys because he's got that kind of
Got to put it in his hands somehow.
Right. So, is TJ Watt healthy? Do we know?
I don't know if he's 100%, but I think he's healthy enough to play.
Healthy enough to play is good enough for me. That gives him a chance to get to Lamar Jackson. I'll take it. Bug out 802 is TJ Watt healthy?
Sure, Bear going crazy in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what none of it means, but
You got
cool.
you got to get the chat on your phone so you can see some of the stuff people saying. Aaron trying hard, man. He trying hard to get somebody to bite on these comments. All right, so do we want to go through NFC matchups? Or
this is y'all conversation. I'm just here.
I know. I feel so bad, bro. I'm sorry. Like, we
I'm trying where I can.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me
Sure.
ask you both of y'all this. Now that the season is over, what player surprised you on the Bills, and what player was like disappointed you on the Bills?
Surprised me, DeMar Hamlin. Honestly,
DeMar Hamlin
yeah.
surprised.
The reason why I say that because as much as I've been piping him up, I thought he was going to be pulled like week 3. Every game I was like, this is a game where he's going to do something. They're going, yep, that's what we wanted. Get out, And I thought I was already resigning Mike White being Mike Edwards being the safety. I already accepted that. I said, you know what, this is my fate. I got to watch this dude out here. Fine. Then Cole Bishop, I said, you know what, they're just waiting to put him in. And still never. I mean, it never happened. So for me, DeMar Hamlin is the one. I know people like to hate on him or whatever, but for what he's done to play in all the games he played and then get to play again after having a 3-day hiatus, being replaced by the second round draft pick and still getting another one. People think that he's playing because they said, okay, they're trying to say that he played because they want Bishop to rest for the playoffs. No.
I heard that because he played a lot last game.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying most of the starters sat, but he played. So does that mean come playoffs they're starting Bishop?
No, I think they again, one of the things Sean said is they really wanted to get a good look at guys in this game. So I think for Bishop in particular, we're getting this guy some real experience and some live bullets out there. Granted, it's not starters, but there were some starters for the Patriots out there, just like there were some starters for the Bills. So get him as many real reps as you possibly can before the playoffs so that he's a little bit closer to where you want him to be technique wise in his reads. For Bishop at this point, it's more about his understanding of the defense and his role in it. You know what I'm saying? So playing in a game like yesterday's gets him closer to the point where Sean wants him to be.
Yeah, I think Bishop is definitely the Poyer replacement. If you that's who he's supposed to be, not Taylor Rapp. It should be Bishop. But to answer your question about the disappointment, I think I have 2 of them.
Okay.
Kincaid is one. Just because of fanfare, I thought it was going to bleed over into this season.
Because remember, we said he's going to be the number 1 target getter.
Exactly.
Target share. Like
exactly.
It's Kincaid, but it wasn't.
Not even. I thought it was going to be Shakir, but I thought Kincaid was going to be right there.
Right.
I thought, I thought as a whole, it was going to be a higher volume. But I think the other one I have is Curtis Samuel. Because of Curtis Samuel, he's getting paid like a fourth wide receiver, third, fourth guy. So I didn't have a lot of expectation for him, but when they brought him in, knowing we didn't have a Steph Diggs, we didn't have that number 1, I thought he was going to be that speed guy that they were going to work in. His injuries and all the things that come with it, he just never found his niche. And even though he's only making $8 million a year, I expected a little more from him, along the lines of what we saw yesterday. He had 7 catches for like 58 yards or whatever it is. Give me that. That frees up Keon Coleman and the rest of the offense to do what they got to do.
Yeah. Steve, you nailed it, man. He says I expected a lot more out of Samuel this year. I'm very disappointed with the way he was used. Yeah, 100%. And
do you blame some of it because of his injuries, though, or you think is it more on the way we use them, or is it what he can offer to the Bills?
I think it's all of it. All of what you said, the injuries, what he can offer,
all of it encompass cause with the
because he's not a bad player. He's not a bad player.
I wouldn't say it was all of it. I think injuries and the way he was used really stick out for me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy that we've seen in Joe Brady's offense put up decent yardage totals. You know what I mean? And being used, even though he may not be a prototypical deep receiver because of his speed, he's a good downfield receiver. But he wasn't even really used as a real receiver. He's used as a basically all of the sticky work that they don't want to give to Shakir, they give to Samuel. Mm-hmm. All the hits that they don't want that they don't want Shakir to take, they give to Samuel. And let's be real, Shakir's body is more built to withstand all the hits and stuff like that than Curtis Samuel's is. You know, but because this is a team trying to take a player and fit him, fit a round peg in a square peg in a round hole, it doesn't matter. If he's injured, well, he's injured. We'll just get another guy in there. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not we invested $27 million into this player. Let's put him at a position that he's excelled at before and use him in that way. To me, I think if he was given the opportunity to play where Coleman is playing, mm-hmm. or where Cooper is playing, mm-hmm. if he was given an opportunity to play any of those outside roles, we would have an appreciation for the signing because he is a good receiver. We're just not using him to his strengths.
I think that's where I was going when I said all of it because he kind of alluded to injuries in the system and also I think how did you say it? You said something else. I forgot exactly how you said it, but no, you're right. I think that's why I thought that he was going to be more central to the offense and because we didn't have anything. Yeah. And days ago we had Mac Hollins. We're like, oh, great. We had Jalen Virgil, we're talking about Claypool. We're talking about Shavers. We're talking about Justin Shorter, remember that guy? Yeah. And we're really talking about these people.
Right.
So to go from training camp where we're like watching these guys to where we are now is just a testament to Joe Brady and his offense. And I really thought about it because I saw your thumbnail, not trailer, but the teaser for the show yesterday, and I didn't know where that was going to go with the McVay versus the Bill, and I'm like, I peeled back the layers and I said, you know what? Brady runs Peyton's offense.
Yeah,
in a sense,
that's what. Yeah, it's who he learned under.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like the same exact thing, and I never really realized what his philosophy was until I really had to read up on it. And I'm like, that's what we have. This is great. Now we just need Marvin Mims and people like that can take you short and go long. I think Curtis Samuel would have appreciated playing against, like I know I keep saying it, but like a Stephon Diggs because he had your boy Scary Terry in Washington and Jahan Dotson and all those. It was like, okay, I see what he can do with that kind of player, but we don't have that kind of player to take the attention off of him. Whereas the Bills thought he was going to take the attention off Keon, and that was just a error from the beginning.
Yeah. My surprise player this year, Saibo, by far, his pass protection, the improvement as a whole as an offensive guard. Listen, if I can stretch this a little bit, I'll even include the right tackle.
Spence.
Spence. I'll include Spencer Brown in that because those two dudes together solidify the right side of that line. I mean, the way they run block and the way they and I get the penalties and all that kind of stuff, but once they really started to put it together, those dudes are good. They play well together, and they're both run graders. You know what I'm saying? And we need that all across the line, not just on the right side. Everybody needs to be able to move the man in front of them.
Did you see Spencer Brown's mic'd up? Did you see that?
No.
He got problems. What do you say? He was lining up with someone on the other line. The other team was like, Spencer Brown. He's like, that's me. Middle name's Curtis. Curtis like Fitty. What's your middle name? I'm like,
right, he lighted up. Just casual conversation. Like,
I'm like, what? Like 50, what?
Information you didn't expect to get from a guy. There
Right.
it is.
He's like,
Yeah.
okay, nah, that's why Mike Duck was funny to me.
Mr. Knickerbocker says, my surprise is Ray Davis. Did not expect him to take the 2 spot from Ty. I don't know. I kind of did.
I did too.
Yeah, I did expect him to take the number 2 spot. I just think his production in college, he's too good. He was too good of a runner. Whereas Ty Johnson he's good. He's good, but he's a better pass catcher than anything else. You know what I'm
Ty
saying?
was another one that surprised. He surprised me too.
Yeah.
Definitely surprised me.
He surprised me in terms of his physicality because I thought he was more of a finesse rusher. I didn't think he was as much of a banger as he showed this season. Jeff, you real late, bro. What's going on, man? How you been?
It's all right, Jeff. We're good with it.
Yeah.
See, my surprise player.
Mhm.
You're gonna like this, Key.
Oh man.
Maxwell Hollins. Everybody.
What?
Maxwell Hollins.
Surprise?
I thought
That's
Mac
fair.
Hollins was gonna play the Jake Kumaro role.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be Jake
Special teams
Kumaro.
only. That's fair.
I've been saying it all season. He is a upgraded, better version of Gabe Davis.
And
In every way. Like when you need him to catch the ball, he catches the ball. He gets touchdowns. He blocks.
he has good celebrations.
Bro, like
He doesn't wear shoes.
to me, like I did not expect him to have that much of an impact. Like I did not expect it.
Okay.
No,
My
me either.
disappointment,
Mhm.
Rasul Douglas.
Yeah.
I thought he was better than what he was.
He hit the age wall.
You know what I'm saying? And I think you hit on it. He had a Hyde employer to rely on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that exposed him a little bit of how good he really is
Mhm.
without that top of the line elite secondary, the
Right.
safety tandem. So he to me, he got exposed a little bit because I really thought that he was like, okay, I didn't think he was elite, but I thought he was going to be, he's going to be a good corner.
Yeah, I thought he was definitely better than that.
Yo, Tommy, you
Benford
tripping,
played way
man.
better.
Jeff came in and said, what up, fellas? I'm late. Tommy was like, Jeff, you good? They still got 2 hours left. No, we don't. Not unless I'm coming on y'all show after this. No, that's over with. Listen, Tommy be doing a 9 to 11 show. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that's late. That is too late.
I could definitely hit that.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
9 to 11?
Oh yeah. You gotta remember, I'm used to working till like 3 a.m. So
That's true.
it's like, what's another 4 hours or whatever? I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I think I went on his show twice, maybe. Yeah, but the second time I was only on for like an hour.
He was like,
I had
it
to
was
get to
definitely
bed.
twice.
I had to get to bed. Yeah, I was tired. Yeah. I be spent after this. All the brain energy I got to use to, you know what I'm saying? It's
You do your thing. You do your thing. I tell everybody, you mastermind behind this thing.
Jeff said, "Don't trip, Tommy. I'll be on your show." Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right, Beth. She says, "Tommy, he knows you too well." I do.
I'm gonna go on Tommy's show and just start talking about James Cook.
Yo, you should.
Put a whole bunch of, I went on there once.
Next time we go on there, I'm having you come on with me. That's it. You got to.
I'm gonna have my Himbo jersey. Yeah. I'm gonna have me I don't know what else I can have. What does he have? Crosses on his arm. Black. Eye cross black. It's gonna be on.
We ain't even gonna be able to get through one topic on the show with y'all debating about Singletary. Laura says Rasul was a disappointment, unfortunately, because I really like him, but Father Time always wins. Yeah. Unfortunately, it hits some players sooner than others, and for him, like this is the other part of this too. There's a reason the Packers were willing to let him go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was a nickel corner for them. You know, they never really wanted to put him outside. There had to be a reason for that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
They all cried together when they traded him.
They all cried together. Right? Yeah, no. Yeah.
So
that really happened though, huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Now, players who they were who you thought they were.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
James Cook. No, I'm just
no, that's fine. That's fine. Because if that's what you thought he was, that's great. You go first if you want.
No, you go.
Okay, players.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
Keon Coleman.
That was who I was going to say.
I knew he was that boy. I knew it. I just wish he would have he wouldn't have got hurt. He would have played more. I think he would have had more of an impact. I think he would have had more stats and more to me, it's all about, when you're a rookie, it's all about reps. You need as much reps as possible. You need all the experience. I wish he would have got more his rookie season, but I'm excited for what this man is going to do in year 2. I'm excited because the type of mindset that he has.
Yes.
Now that he has his first year in, now he got the offseason.
Yep.
I don't care what nobody say. What makes you or breaks you is that offseason work.
With the mindset.
Some players just say, yeah, whatever. I'll just, but some players put the work in it, and it shows on the field.
Yep.
I want to see who he works out with this offseason.
I hope, I'm praying it's his cousin. Please work out with CD. Please have him get with CD.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking
They already put out one video.
Man.
I was thinking, going throwback like a big, strong, slower guy like an Alshon Jeffrey or something like that. They could just go for high point and everything. Because when I saw the reason why I said Keon Coleman was, well, I was gonna say it right before you said it was not because I'm such a glowing. No, you didn't. There wasn't such a glowing report on him. It was just that in a red zone, I knew he was gonna be lights out, but the rest of the field, I thought he was gonna be fairly limited. Yeah. So, I mean, I gave him. I think he fell short of what people said he was gonna do. But I thought it was unfair that people think that he was going to come in here and be a number one.
Right.
I think he's that's why when he came in, I said we still need that wide receiver one, and I don't want to go ahead and get an Amari Cooper again and sign for a long term. I want to get somebody out of the draft if we can. They're there. There's a lot of them there. Yeah. Got to be aggressive. So I think Keon Coleman will be a solid number two if we have a solidified number one explosive guy to get us down to the red zone where Keon can eat.
Here's the kicker with Coleman. He's much more athletic than Alshon Jeffrey ever was, in terms of his speed, his raw athleticism, body control, all that kind of stuff. Much more athletic than Alshon Jeffrey. I think his ceiling right now is prime peak T. Higgins, which would be amazing to have.
I would take that in a heart.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly. I think, and really, when you listen to the man talk, he's got a number one superstar level mentality when it comes to how he studies the game, how the appreciation he has for it, the work ethic he has, and all of that. I'm gonna say it now. I fully expect Coleman to take a Josh Allen-esque leap next season. 100%. Because of his mentality and his ability. Yeah. You combine those two things, you are going to get a Josh Allen-like jump in year two. The man is going to come back ready to take over the league. I promise you that.
He get a solid second year with Josh too.
Right, man.
I think he would benefit from other weapons too. Yeah. Shakir and
But so here's the other part of this too. The Bills. Well, let me ask y'all this: do the Bills need a speed receiver on the field to just threaten taking the top off of defense? No. They don't need it.
Are we getting rid of Samuel and Cooper, or just with Cooper and Samuel on the team?
Let's say we don't re-sign Cooper. I think Samuel's under contract. I don't think they'll get rid of him for what he's a humble dude. He accepts his role and all that kind of stuff, but they've essentially put him in the Isaiah McKenzie role. Yeah. I think they'll leave him in that. I don't think they'll put him outside unless they absolutely have to. So let's assume that they go into the offseason this year thinking Mac Hollins and Keon Coleman are your outside receivers, and then Shakir's inside, and you still use, Samuel as your gadget guy. Mm-hmm. You think at that point, do we need to take Hollins? I'm assuming Coleman is just on the field no matter what, right? He has been whenever he's been healthy, so I'm assuming he's on the field no matter what. But Hollins, could he be subbed out for a speed guy? Could he be, you know what I'm saying? Is that something you think?
I don't think they need to do it, but I would like them to see it. I would love to see that. I would love to see that, because if we get rid of, let's say we don't have Cooper, who's our fast? The problem is, what I think the Bills will do to suffice, they'll just use Ty Johnson or James Cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'd rather have a speedy receiver, so they don't have to do that.
Right.
But I don't think they need to do it, but I would love for them to do it.
Yeah. One of the Key, what you think?
You
got to get going soon, right?
No. Are you talking about? Okay, so you're talking about adding on top of Hollins and Coleman and Shakir, or are you talking about replacing that extra that Z?
Not replacing the roster spot, but maybe the spot on the field.
Right. So so no, I mean I would like to have somebody on the field like more of obviously a quicker guy. Mm-hmm. So you don't want a duplicate Coleman, but I would take Somebody, a route runner of some sort. There was maybe like 4.5, whatever.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to be a speed demon.
Yeah.
But in our offense, you want somebody that can do work over the middle.
Yeah.
Somebody that can cut real quick. Somebody that can get to a spot fast enough for Josh to get there in the offense. Because you don't want to be hamstrung. I don't know that we have a big value with a receiver that just goes down the field. Because Josh has proven that's not really his throw. I think he'd be best served to have somebody that can get over to get to the outside on your flag routes, all that stuff, and make it happen for you.
Okay. I don't know about that, Steve. Steve Lynn says Adams, Cooper, Tyreek, all available this offseason. OBJ too. I don't know if we know how to use any of these receivers.
I like all the names, but I don't like their age.
Yeah,
because they're on the back end of their career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I can get somebody T. Higgins-esque,
yeah,
somebody that's not quite fresh, but like right in the peak or the middle of their career and can offer value, I would sign them in a heartbeat.
Yeah, the Bengals actually did the league a favor from a standpoint of what T. Higgins' market value is. His market value was higher last year than it's going to be this year, coming off, dealing with another injury-plagued season. You know what I'm saying? I think T. Higgins only played in like 8 to 10 games or something like that. He was out for a couple of games at least. I know that. But I mean, it speaks to his injury history and what he's had to deal with, with his health. And that makes a difference for how much money you get, especially when teams are looking at you to come in and be a number one receiver. We're going to depend on you. We're going to build around you. You got to be on the field, my dude. You know what I'm saying? So, Jeff says, I don't think T. Higgins is a number one. I mean, technically he was. Go look at his numbers. He put up number one numbers before Jamar Chase got here playing with Joe Burrow. So I think as long as he has a good quarterback, he can put up number one numbers. For him, it's just a matter of volume. Are we going to give him that much value? Steve Noble says, guessing Cooper had a death in his family, and that's a personal issue. And that's the personal issue. Hopefully, he is back because we really need him this weekend with Denver playing so much man to man. You know what? And this is one of the things where, I don't want to say this as if it's the end all be all, but I do think this is the X factor for this Bills Broncos game and why the Bills are going to win this game. I'll say strongly. The Bills will win this game strongly. I think what Josh Allen can do to man coverage, just from the standpoint of the threat that he poses, his ability to get out of sacks, to get out of pressure situations and put pressure on a defense immediately destroys man coverage. It doesn't matter. I said this last time, right, Key? You cannot cover a wide receiver, a running back, a tight end for 7 seconds. You can't do it. You can't cut. Nobody in the league can do it. Not even Pat Surtain. So if that's the case, you better hope you can get to Josh, because the second he breaks out of the pocket, it's over for your defense. If everybody's got their back turned to Josh, he's running. If you want to play zone, if you want to do like I already started watching Broncos versus Ravens tape to see how they do against mobile quarterbacks. If you want to play this little game where I'm gonna show you that I'm a rush 6 and I drop 2 back, okay, you may have gotten to Lamar Jackson early with that, but they blew you out 41-10 in the long run. So how much did that really work?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you're talking about mobile quarterbacks, you almost have to play zone. You have to keep eyes on them. And unfortunately, I think with the offense we have man beaters, we have zone beaters, and we can win any way we want to. And with the way that Josh is playing right now and the level that he steps up to in the playoffs, I just think it's going to be too tough. It's going to be too tough for a rookie quarterback coming into Buffalo. It's going to be too tough for a defense to deal with what Josh presents on offense. I just think it's going to be too much.
The only thing that worries me about the Broncos game, and probably going to laugh, Key, special teams.
That's what worries you?
Yes. Marvin Mims, Pro
right.
Bowler.
Yeah.
If they kick the ball to that man, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna run it back. I know it because, one, our special team is not that great when it comes to tackling, that roster is not that great. I can see Marvin Mims breaking a huge run in scoring.
I was gonna say that the good thing about the Bills in that regard is we lead the league in touchbacks on kickoffs.
So don't even kick it to
they
him,
always because Tyler Bass can't position kick.
Yeah.
So he just kicks it as far as he can into the end zone. They touchback.
I hope that's part of the game plan. We're not kicking to Mims at all.
Right,
Don't kick to the man.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, if he breaking it off, I'm gonna be pissed.
He can do that on offense too. That's the thing. Marvin Mims is he's deadly as a slot. He's deadly on kick return. He's just deadly. He's a Pro Bowl.
Yes, he's the game breaker for me. If we lose the game, it's probably going to be because of him.
Yep. And listen, to be real, it's not like every team plays 8 men in the box, and it's not like every team only plays two high safeties. But Mims is getting deep on everybody.
Yeah.
Mims is getting deep on everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no discrimination with the way they use him. He takes the top off the defense. So I don't want people to go into this game thinking, oh, the Broncos have no receivers. And listen, the offense will surprise you, right? And this is the other part of the reason why I was saying, in my mind, it's kind of 50-50, because if the Bills don't go in with the mentality that we've been talking of, attack, get ahead and force them to be one-dimensional and play catch-up the whole game, well, you've seen now the Bills are going to give a team a run game. Even if they don't have one, the Bills are going to give them a run game. And that can get dicey. That can get real dicey. So, while I do think the Bills win this game, I think that there's a very real chance that we could get caught sleeping at the same time. So we just got to be sharp. This postseason is about focus. If there's one word that I can put on this team to say, if you need to have one thing in every game, it needs to be focus. Because if you lose it for 1 second, your defense is not good enough to help you recover. It's not against the good offenses and the good quarterbacks. We saw that against the Ravens. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. So,
so the last thing I want to touch on was Joe Brady going to be interviewed by the Jets and the Saints.
So I think he has a better shot with the Saints.
Yes.
I think the Jets, they already know who they want. I don't think he's the number one guy.
Who do you think the Jets want?
Vrabel?
Patriots want Vrabel.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Vrabel wants the Patriots. I know he interviewed, but he's probably
he's going to. That's why they fired. They say that's why he fired Jerod Mayo, because he heard he interviewed with the Jets.
But I think they got somebody else in mind.
Ben Johnson.
It might have been him. I heard on the radio they said they got their number one or favorite guy. Mm-hmm. So I don't think, even though they're interviewing, it'll be him. But I think the Saints may pull the trigger on Brady.
I don't think if I was Joe Brady, I'd accept that job. No, because he can't build his own team there.
Why not?
They have $78 million in the whole cap space for 2025.
Whoa. Are they worse than us?
Oh, way worse.
What?
$78 million in the hole.
I didn't know that.
When they had Breeze, they were kicking the can so far down the road it wasn't even funny.
They have a $48 million dead cap. Yeah.
How much?
$48 million dead cap. Yeah. So he's going to be there. He's going to get fired because he can't build a team. So I wouldn't say that one. So
is that real? Is somebody reporting that Sweat says Rex Ryan is going to the Jets?
That was he interviewed.
Rex Ryan wants the Jets job so bad, but I don't think nobody's
going to. If I was Rex, I would too. Can you imagine what Rex could do with that defense?
No.
With those corners?
Unless they're geniuses.
He needs a quarterback though, because
listen. Hold up. We can't say that either. We can't say that either. He made 2 AFC championships with Mark Sanchez. We can't say he needs a quarterback.
Well, he does because Aaron Rodgers retired. He has nobody. Who's there behind him?
No.
To me, in this era,
but he can go get Sam Darnold now.
In this era, he will need a quarterback. In this era,
you're right. You're right.
Your point, Sanchez is good enough.
Yeah. If they learn his defense fast, Sauce Gardner, he got to be screwed on too tight. So I got to be what? Do what? Huh? No, I'm quit. I'm done.
No, stop it. Listen. I'm very serious when I say this. If Rex Ryan ever did get that job, you got to be a little nervous. You got to be a little nervous for what he could do with the defensive talent they have, and then on top of that, he had a run game before. Right now, they have 2 good run backs. So all they got to do is get some offensive linemen and go out and pay Sam Darnold, and they got a real team. You know what I'm saying? So it the idea that the Jets are broken and whatever, they're literally a good head coach away from being an immediate threat next year.
I think they are broken because what you say, a good head coach. There's one, and two, isn't the owner a head job, a nut job?
The owner, yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure. But again, Rex is very familiar with that same ownership because he worked under them back when he was making AFC Championship. So again, that's why I think Rex is probably the perfect dude for the job at this point with this low point that they're at. You get a credible guy that comes in that the players will listen to. You got a guy that knows the city. He's coached there before. He's led that team to AFC championships. They have all the talent he needs to have an elite defense, and they have the foundational pieces that they need on offense to be able to really build something. If you add any type of decent quarterback play to that offense, anything better than what Aaron Rodgers was, Garrett Wilson is your number one. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and again, I understand the flaw of my thought at the beginning of the season now, seeing how bad the Jets have done. I acknowledge that was a horrible take now, seeing how they've played. But on paper, I don't think anybody can say on paper this is a bad team. I just think because of what the culture was in the locker room and the culture that Aaron Rodgers brought with him, that's what broke the team. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to say like the whole franchise is broken because when Rex was there before, they were winning. You know what I mean? So,
and I'm going to say this is the last thing I'm going to say. You guys got anything else before?
So Sam Darnold, he's not under contract with Minnesota?
So no. So let me just double check. But I think he signed a 1-year deal to back up to compete with the rookie. But the rookie was going to be the starter.
They about to trade the rookie. They're trying to trade JJ.
Are they really?
They might after the season Darnold got. They might want to trade him.
That's true.
He might be the dude.
That's true.
They'd be better served because I don't think McCarthy's that great anyway.
Yeah.
Would you want him here as a backup?
McCarthy?
Yeah.
No, because McCarthy is predicated on a run. He's like a run game quarterback. He's not really a throwing quarterback. Yeah. So he's got to have.
He's like a Brock Purdy.
Galore. Really?
Yeah, he needs that type of offense, like a Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Because after Trubisky's performance, to me, he was efficient, but I was getting Tyrod vibes.
Yeah, very much so, bro.
I was getting Tyrod.
You going to the clink? You done already messed up.
Oh, no, okay. You said it the second time. I was like, I thought you said
4.8 yards a pass.
No, you're okay. I'll give you that. Because when I thought I heard something different at first. I'm like, when I hear Tyrod, I'm like, you know, boy, don't play, boy. I come across.
You about to kill Mac over here, bro. He can't even breathe because of you.
So y'all got anything else? You?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, I was kind of hoping, and I'm mad that the Giants are keeping Dayball and Shane.
Why?
I'm mad about that because they get Shador. You know what I was going to give them? If they would have came back, I was going to give them some Reeves tea. I was going to let them get a case of Reeves tea
let Reeves
on
T
me.
Play quarterback?
A Reeves tea case on me.
Listen, Reeves T can play quarterback.
I know. Reeves tea can do everything. You know,
everything.
It's an elixir. It's fantastic. One part refreshing, one part delicious.
We can't make people think we selling snake oil now.
We are not selling. Oh, it's just rubbing on in.
You got cancer? Just rub it on in. Rub it in.
2 parts healthy. That's what you can expect when there are only 4 ingredients. I don't even drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What you doing? Head on over to Reeves. Get yourself an individual or buy the case. Don't get the individual. Get the case. You won't be disappointed. What do I know? See it for yourself. Reeves Tea. Click the link in the description below. Use the code PostPutIn Podcast. Let them know who sent you. But no, I do. Yeah, you're right about. Well, your face said it when I said Dayball and Shane get Shador because that's where he's gonna go. They got Cam Ward going number 1.
Even though Shador said he want to go somewhere warm,
Shador can lick grits.
Jeez,
Deion not having that.
Right. I think they might pull a move,
Marvin Harrison Jr. all over again.
Prime got 8 toes. I don't care. You better get in while the getting's good. Throwing a pair of them shades too.
Man. All right. Man, we could have kept going too.
Probably.
All right. If you're hearing that sound, that means it's time for us to get out of here. Calm down, both of y'all. Calm down.
Yo, no. Steve Noble, Mike White was horrible. I did not expect it at all.
Yeah.
He had to get that in.
But I mean, he's been with the practice squad the whole season. What y'all expect? You know what I'm saying? Well, not the whole season, but since we got him, he's been with the practice squad. I didn't expect him.
He did not listen to Eminem "Lose Yourself."
No, he did not. He did not. He got his one shot. He probably played himself out of a contract.
He's swinging the spaghetti right now.
Yeah. Mom Spaghetti won. Listen, we appreciate everybody that showed up and hung out with us. If you have not done so already, please subscribe, hit that bell, make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-lang.
so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like this week, I am recording with Damaris Johnson. We will be doing
Remember him?
the film review. Yeah, right. Remember Coach D's corner? It's coming back, y'all. So we're gonna take a look at the Broncos, and we're gonna take a look at what they do and what we can do to expose them and all that kind of great stuff for you to look forward to. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna record Wednesday. It should be available Thursday, so look out for that. Listen, you guys got anything else?
No.
All right. Well, there you have it. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mack.
And 40 keys.
We are out of here. Y'all have a great night.
Peace. Well, we did it.
We did it.